Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see, it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're 1 and 1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense. But it makes
yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes! I look and see, it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see, it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're 1 and 1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're 1 and 1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Get wild! Yeah!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
God damn it.
Yeah!
Stuck a bitch. You're about to get vile. I'm a prom queen, but I keep to myself, stacking high green. You're in debt to your health, AARP. Ain't shit old but my wealth, and my oppie's getting dumber every day. Ha. Up in the gym, but I never need a witness. Tonic and gin, when I'm working on my fitness. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot bod. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot bod. On Becca, yeah, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot bod. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot bod. I be flexing like the dudes high on tread, all natural. Better give her her tens. They say, Blondie, how you getting those abs? Hey, Bobby, let me call you a cab. Long legs, I'm a woman instead. My eggs, fertile, healthy, and femme. My trades, flowing free like the Thames. And my haters getting madder every day. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot bod. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot bod. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot bod. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot bod. Yeah.
Ooh, what's happening, everyone? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show, episode 186. I am your host, the infallible Phil Marks. And we're here today. We're gathered for sermon here today on this Wednesday, October 1st. It's spooky season, Rocktober, as I like to call it. And it's my favorite month from September through till the new year. It's like my favorite time of the year. September 1st hits, we decorate, we start, watching scary movies, all that shit. November 1st hits, we're Christmas decorating, we are, watching holiday movies and all that stuff. So that's how it goes down here in the Phil Marks household. I am your infallible host again, and we're here this Wednesday, this PWT live show, this jam-packed PWT live show, another amazing show we have in store for you here today. And it is also the 6-year anniversary, a week out of the Showdown, formerly the Invasion, which we're going to talk about. And, a week out, 6 days away, I suppose. And it is also the 1st of October, 6-year anniversary edition of AEW Dynamite. So the card they have compiled for us here, it's just, again, matches. I know, matches. It's a 2.5 hour special. I don't know if they continue to do this like every year, like the 7-year anniversary, the 8-year anniversary, the 9-year, like none of it's special because they act like everything's so great. Okay. So they should really, like, 5 is one thing, 10's another thing, 15. If you go every 5 or 10, okay. Right? So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to preview this show. It's 2.5 hours long tonight. Jack Perry buries Tony Khan's creative from the past. We're going to get into that. And maybe Jack Perry winning some folks back over, but he's back tonight. Orange Cassidy is back tonight. I guess he was in a tag match or whatever, but Cassidy's back just in time for the 6-year anniversary and to completely fuck up any momentum that they may or may not have garnered that I just don't believe that they have right now, but some people want to say they do. We're going to talk about that. We have Matt Hardy and more Rebby Hardy drama, right? And some people say she does stuff for the clicks, and that may be true. But the Hardy Boys were over there on Kai Cenat's stream. We're going to talk about that. We're going to EFAP some of those clips. We have some sickos. We have tons and tons of everything tonight. And I'm excited because I have also a major announcement to make. No, to rip off a Tony Khan. A major announcement. I don't know. It's major. It may not be major. We major. Come on, homie. We major. Right? But there is a new show coming to you every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, starting tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, I believe is the time. And it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It's the segment so nice we got to do it once a week as its whole own show, ladies and germs. So that's right. Every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, starting tomorrow, it'll be live on YouTube, but it will also be everywhere that you listen to podcasts like Spotify and Apple, iHeartRadio. I don't know, all these things, right? Stitcher. I don't know if that's still around. Right? All of these things. It'll be available everywhere in audio form as well. And of course, the Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week official playlist as well is up and running. And these episodes will be added to that. So it's an idea, that I've been tossing around for a while, like since the segment kind of took off and the whole flute thing, it was always an idea of like, man, does this become its own show? Does this become its own show? Does he become my stuttering John? He already is, but It's like, at what point? And then the last how many shows I've clipped, and it's like the segments are over 60 minutes. And then, or if I break them into two, they're like 45 and 45. And it's like, all right, it's time. I innovated roasting Dave Meltzer once already. You have pods, like even people who used to be in the biz, their pods. You have new podcasters, old podcasters, even podcasters who are like Vince Russo's and Conan, right? Even they are roasting Meltzer all the time, and we can all come together and agree he's such a fool. And I figured, what the hell, I'll innovate again. And Dave Meltzer, dumb moment of the week. It's its own official show, so make sure you guys, I think I don't know, add it to your pods and everything. Tomorrow night is the first one, 8 p.m. Eastern, here on YouTube and X. And also, the audio version afterwards will be uploaded to Spotify and all of that as well. So for people who like to listen in podcast form, sometimes I like that. Just plug the headphones in and listen to YouTube videos, right? So we all do that, right? You're working out or something, you're going for a walk. All right, I'm going to just listen to YouTube for a bit. So I figured we'd get it up because, the live show is on like YouTube podcasts, but it's not on like all the other, it doesn't go through a proper aggregator. So those segments, a lot of them are only in that playlist, and so we're going to get all of that uploaded to the RSS feed and more. New episodes every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, I think 5 Pacific. Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week official show. So round of applause for me, I guess, for adding a new show here to the PWT catalog. Okay, so we need to preview this show here to some degree, I guess, right? So Jurassic Express returns. Timeless Tony Storm returns to Hollywood, Florida. That's pretty funny because they're in Hollywood, Florida, right? So that's actually pretty funny. Oh, and also my plugs. Yeah, guys, I dropped 2 Patreon videos, 2 episodes of Tough Enough back to back. Okay, and then there's a third one. I recorded a third one, which I'll drop on like Friday or something for patrons. So patreon.com/prowrestletimes. We're almost at the end of season 1, and then we'll be going through like season 2 and some other stuff I've planned I'm doing over there. And what else? YouTube.com/@prowrestletimes is where the replay will be at. And if you're on X, consider subscribing on YouTube. Coming on over to YouTube, okay? We're at like 7,000, on the way to 7,200 on Pro Wrestle Clips channel, and on the Pro Wrestle Times channel, I think we're on the way to 2,100 or 2,200. So round of applause for the PWT universe. You guys are fucking amazing. Thank you so much for making every show so great. It's great. So Timeless Tony Storm returns to Hollywood, Florida. Hilarious. Jurassic Express returns. We're going to talk about Jungle Boy a bit. In a bit here. Orange Cassidy takes on Kyle Fletcher for the TNT title. So like Orange Cassidy just on the shelf for like a year, comes back, gets a shot at Fletcher. Okay. Kenny Omega and Brodito in a trios match against Josh Alexander and the Young Bucks. So obviously Josh is there to take the fall. Or maybe they sneak one on Brodito and then it causes a tag title match, even though this is a trios match. You know what I mean? Like one of the Bucks will pin fucking Brody King or Bandito or something, and then they parlay that into a tag title match or something stupid. A mixed tornado tag match. Statlander and Darby Allin. And I'm happy for Statlander. Like, I know I haven't been praising her title win to the high heavens, but there was like times to do that before. There's time to do that when you build to it properly. Just a shock like, oh, she wins the belt. Maybe it elevates her a little bit, but it is what it is, man. I like Statlander. Darby Allin is in this match as well against Yuta and Shafir. Ugh. Hangman Adam Page, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe take on Jon Moxley, Daniel Garcia, and Claudio Castagnoli. I mean, I like Joe. He's in the main event, or this might not even be the main event either. This could be like the fucking opener of everything. And so we don't know ever when they build their posters. You never know what goes where and why. I could see Darby being in the main event and then this trios match going on earlier. And here's the thing too, when they do the trios, two trios matches and one card, but neither of the trios, other than maybe the Bumbleclot clan, are actual like trios. You know, now you'd say, oh, Samoa Joe. Oh, come on now, Phil. Samoa Joe and Hobbs are in a trios. Yeah, but not with Hangman. And like they've been in more tag matches, triosing with other people than their own trios as partners. So what the fuck? Right? It would be nice if we like established some trios for the divisions. For the division, rather, or divisions, because there's the 6-man tags too. There's the ROH 6-man tags, and I know those just pop up when you need them to just try and add some intrigue, right? It's why UFC added like the BMF title, and the BMF title has no rhyme or reason. It's just a belt that Dana White can go, oh yeah, man, the BMF title. It was to appease ESPN and shit, who were like, nah, we want title matches, and it's just to add a little bit of it's like GM mode on 2K. You just for the belt, yep, adds a little intrigue, adds a little, a little boost to the match. I don't know, man. It's terrible, but it is what it is. What am I looking forward to? I mean, if Jack Perry wasn't such a fucking wiener, Jurassic Express is pretty cool. Honestly, like originally they were awesome. I thought they had something there, man. To move away from it, become these like sadistic short bus riders, Frankenstein injections, and then all of a sudden you're just singing like whoa, 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 and like you're gonna start kissing babies again. I think these are just leaps that we don't see any like real. There's no reason why Jack Perry wants to is sending the Young Bucks knives and comes back and is like, oh, I hate the Bucks and now I'm hugging Luchasaurus and we're all friends and shit. They don't really explain any of it. Now, if you watch Being the Elite, okay. But otherwise, where is any of this on TV? And even on Being the Elite, it's just like they just tease Jack Perry's coming back and then he's sending the Bucks knives and all this shit. It's like, all right, why did we get there? Well, he was the scapegoat for the Punk stuff. Yeah, but he fucking aligned with them and shit. And he attacked Tony Khan and everything. You never see proper stories being told, which is a really big problem in AEW. And yeah, that's the preview for Dynamite's 6-year anniversary show. So Big Bang Theory's on. We're talking about AEW. We might as well be walking on the sun. We might as well start with some AEW news before the show commences, no? I think that'd be the way to do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, all together in the chat now, Ichi ni Sanda for AEW news.
Yeah.
Sorry, hello. Okay, everybody all together one more time because I royally botched, okay? Moving my mic around, muted myself. Ichi ni Sanda one more time again. For AEW news.
Yeah.
Dummy. Yeah.
So Tony Khan has an important announcement. Phil Marks' important announcement. Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're still going to make fun of Dave, though, on the live show, guys. Don't worry. He pops up all over the place, right? But either way, AEW CEO Tony Khan praises the iconic timeless Toni Storm. He says, I think that she's an icon, and I think that the icon presence was always inside of her. And that's what I told her when we started this, that she has that presence. But she was at the time in her mid-20s, yet she had this timeless presence. Jesus Christ, dude. We get the timeless presence thing. He's going to take credit for her gimmick. You have this timeless presence. Okay, she was in her mid-20s. I mean, maybe she's in her 30s now, but how many years has she been in AEW, realistically? And she's an incredible wrestler. She's so charismatic, and the fans respect her. The transition she's made to timeless Toni Storm, she's found the classic movie star inside of herself, and she's become the first wrestler, not only of all the AEW stars. We're on TBS, we're on TNT, but also the first wrestler now to be on Turner Classic Movies. She is truly a timeless movie star. No, Tony, she's not truly a timeless movie star. A timeless wrestler and a great, great charismatic presence. Timeless Toni Storm is one of the biggest stars in wrestling, and she is one of the great reasons why AEW is having a great 2025 right now. And it's the tremendous, tremendous wrestling of timeless Toni Storm. Dude, now he's saying great twice. Like, great, great, tremendous, tremendous. Timeless, timeless. Presence, presence. So there you go. I do agree with Tony, though, in some regards there, right? Like, Toni Storm fucking rules. Tony Khan, and if there has been any frustration with WWE counter-programming AEW, so he tells Going Ringside, we're having a great year. We've been able to stick and move, like a float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Adam Copeland's and Beekeeper, too, did you know? He's like, we've been able to stick and move and make it work really well for us. There's always going to be tough competition, and in this sport, it's very tough competition. The kind of competition that makes you work really hard 52 weeks a year. And for AEW, we're having a great year. A great year. It's so great. We've been putting on great shows. The shows have gotten great ratings, great support from our audience. And we've really grown the audience in 2025. We're focused on how we can make AEW the best wrestling company. So I thought it was where the best wrestle. So now you're focused on how you can make it where the best wrestle. Great support from the audience. Yeah, I mean, I won't lie. The AEW audiences, like, it's shrunk tremendously, but they're like hotter for the AEW stuff. Like, it is their core audience for sure. I just think they should run way smaller venues. It's the oldest thing to say, but even tonight, I think they have like a 6,000 seater and there's 3,000 people. Well, 3,000 is actually a good house for AEW in 2025, in the latter part of 2025. But in the scope of where they started and they are now, it's like, holy shit, what happened to these 10K seaters and stuff? So 3K strong for a Dynamite, but like, why are you in a 6K seater or a 10? You go to these 20K, so you're like, why do that? Because all the stars need dressing rooms and shit. All the stars, quote unquote, and all the different talent that are making obscene amounts of money, and it's just easier for Tony to have an office and have. I just think that's what it is. People can park their fucking, have the bigger parking lot, the back entrance, and all that. That's got to be what it is at this point. He's admitted basically as much earlier this year. But anyways, so yeah, I don't know. Tony Khan, like, he's putting his shit over, but he always does this thing where he just doesn't really give an answer and he beats around the bush. And even when he is kind of being direct, you feel like he's just bullshitting you. He's like a shitty politician, So we're having a great year. And then he's like, the shows have gotten great ratings, great support from our audience. Prove they've gotten great ratings. We've grown the company. Prove you've grown it. Like, you prove that. No one's really seen that. We've all just seen everything trending downwards and the lowest numbers in history. And you can say, well, everyone's on max, but there's just no proof of that. So, and man, you know what they say, dude. Poor people don't like AEW either. So
poor people don't like AEW.
And that's why their tickets are way cheaper than WWE's, which is now a talking point. Oh, families should go and watch. You notice Dave doesn't talk about that either. He doesn't use that as one of his grand Meltzer spins of like, oh, it's more family friendly. because that's like egg on his face. Now, maybe he will just flip and say it. I wouldn't put it past him, but that's just more egg on his face. Like he has said so many times, like we have it on the soundboard, you know, low IQ, poor people like WWE, trailer trash, rednecks, as they call them. There's more than meets the eye. So these trailer trash rednecks, Brian, who like WWE. I've seen people. So Meltzer said, "What says? I've seen people on Adderall, Coke, and MDMA all at the same time and not look so weird." Oh, come on, that's not very fair. And then here's another great one. I've used that on my thumbnails a few times. I agree with Meltzer said. What I mean, we've discussed this, you know, between us, and it's like, he just seems like a square. I don't think he's partying. Like we've discussed it on this show. Who hasn't tried or done cocaine or whatever, right, in their lifetime? Is he doing it and going on TV? I don't even think he'd get down like that. I don't think Tony's that hardcore, you know? I just think it's like Starbucks and Adderall. That's what every famous person uses pretty much now. And Ozempic. No. So this is insane. This is less than GCW, Hog Wrestling, and most indie shows, right? This is from this guy 1214. This guy 1214 says AEW's in the shitter. So this guy Chad Mins or Mine says, listen, if you can't afford 20K tickets to WWE, you can always sit front row at AEW for $24. Holy shit, dude. $24. Imagine if they made a family-friendly show right now that was like geared more towards kids and kids going, oh, yeah, we want to go see Orange Cassidy and shit. Imagine what they could do, the damage they could do, and how they could reinvent themselves and stuff. Tony Khan, come on down. $24, man. You can sit in the front row at an AEW show. So that's pretty awesome. One AEW 50% promo at $24. I mean, that's the affordable option right now. However, AEW doesn't go to as many places. They don't run house shows. They would benefit right now from running goddamn house shows, man. But Tony's not going to do that. And so I don't want to hear anybody being like, oh, they're the fucking family-friendly company, or they're the company that, you know, it's more affordable. So people, it's called supply and demand is what this is. Because this is the problem with all of these fucking AEW whatevers in their fucking names, okay? If the goddamn tickets for AEW went up to $4,000 for the front row, the sickos would be like, the top company, supply and demand. You know what I mean? So I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear complaining about WWE's ticket prices and shit. Honestly, I don't, because people are still fucking buying them, okay? And that's the name of the game. I mean, it sucks for the average person like you and I, but at the end of the fucking day, it is supply and demand. And if the shoe is on the other foot, the sickos would be like, oh, fucking, this is incredible, dominating the fucking market and everything, you know? But AEW has an opportunity here, man. Front rows are 24. You have an opportunity to actually become the family-friendly company, to swoop in, maybe not turn the TV ratings around, but turn the attendances around. Here's the thing, too. The fucking streaming numbers and ratings and shit don't even matter if the attendances are down as well, because you're a live touring. We beat this to death on this show as well, dude. You're a live touring entertainment show. So the whole idea is this show is like the commercial to sell you on this pay-per-view we're eventually going to sell and to draw a big house. So it's like if the TV ratings are way up and you're running out of a fucking, a factory, you're running out of a fucking gym, but the gym's full every single week and the TV ratings are up and you're charging a little bit more on your tickets, that's awesome. That's a W. Or if you're a touring show and maybe the TV ratings are weaker, but you're fucking drawing houses everywhere you're going. Okay, then fuck the TV ratings. Maybe the stream, everyone is watching on streaming, then that's a W. And it's like the fact that this has to be explained to Sicko, because you see people debating this shit like, oh, this is it's more affordable. Yeah, but it doesn't mean people want to buy them. They're $24 because people don't want to buy this shit. Jesus Christ, Why does this need to be explained to motherfuckers? So Velveteen Dream had criticisms of AEW recently, and he said that they're inefficient at booking and there's a lack of structure. And Velveteen's Dream says, I watched this segment with Anthony Bowens. Dream said, quite frankly, I'm tired of sitting at home watching professional wrestling and watching them not do it as efficiently as they possibly could. So I'm watching AEW and they take too fucking long to get to the finish. I'm watching this show and these guys really don't know how to fucking put together a wrestling show. So there's Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. I'm watching these guys attempt to put on some compelling television and it's just not hitting. They took too long to get to their finish. They're telling too many stories in a match. Are you going to tell the story of Max Caster and Anthony Bowens getting back together or not? In another segment, I don't understand why you bring 6 guys out on TV just to get them squashed. It does nothing for the talent. It devalues your show, and it devalues any value you put on it. It devalues any value you put on it. It devalues any value. That's too many values, brother. There is a such thing as way too many false finishes. And I think these guys could be a lot more efficient if they had some leadership and some experience in their corner that they actually listen to. Maybe the shows would be conducted in a way that wouldn't disappoint the masses. Now, I'll give Velveteen Dream this. Like, I don't know. This isn't going to get everyone in your corner, but I'll give you this. This guy would know, like, he's an uber Mark fan who actually did make it, was going to get a massive push, at John Cena posting about him and shit. And he fucked it all up. I'm not talking about his personal life. And I'm not saying I'm not even entirely glazing his opinion here. But at the same time, like, this guy watching wrestling would know about people like not having veterans in their corner. Like, okay, there's clearly nobody telling you like how to do this correctly and shit. He would be able to identify that just because of like the system he was in. Oh, but that's the PC system brainwashing. Okay, that's what draws money. That's what gets John Cena posting about you, It's nobody's fault but creative and booking and shit that Kenny Omega's less popular now than he was in fucking New Japan and shit like that. That's only on creative and like this way the TV show is put together, wrestling included. So anyways, Velveteen says maybe the shows would be conducted in a way that wouldn't disappoint the masses. They need more reps in the training facility if they even have one in AEW. Damn, man. In aid catering to the wackos here, huh? Trying to work his way back in through the wackos, dude, into the fucking PC or what? He says in AEWs, there's a miscommunication and misunderstanding. It just tells me that you're either allowing the talent to book their own segments or your producers really don't know what they're doing. It's the honest truth. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. So moving along here, the Blade provides an update 1 year after his spinal fusion surgery. Now, I always liked the Blade and the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny. I thought that they could have done more in the tag division for sure. Like they could have been your heater fucking heel team that just gets all the heat and they wear these weird masks and they're your own guys. And the reason I say a lot of people laugh at that too. And it's like, no, dude, they weren't on TV. Like nobody saw them until they were on AEW TV and nobody really looked like them on any other show, and they could have used that to their advantage to build characters, to build stars. Maybe they're not stars, but maybe they're the fucking gatekeepers of that division. You go through them and stuff. And I had high hopes for Private Party and a lot of these teams, and it's unfortunate that Blade... Well, I mean, I think these guys are up in age a bit, and I think they're all good, like, in their lives. I think they made good money and stuff, and I think the Butcher's, like, in a successful metal band or some shit like that. But Blade had back fusion surgery. He says, I had a back fusion my back spinal. I broke my back. My back is broken. on September 10th of 24. It's been about a year now, and I'm getting close to going back to doctors, getting cleared, the whole thing. AEW fucking took care of my surgery. They took care of my physical therapy. Like, they've been taking care of me for like over a year now. I'm really, really grateful for that job. And that's courtesy of Talking Shop with the Good Brothers there. No doubt, man. And good on Tony Khan. Like, if he likes you, man, he'll take care of all your shit. You know, if you sign there and don't go to and choose them over the Fed, like, he'll pay for your school and all this stuff. It's almost like Tony Khan hires people and then pays them and incentivizes them to not be on TV in a weird fucking way. Honestly, it
Best
seems
guys,
like,
Tony Khan.
no, you go to school. No, you get your back fixed on my watch and all this shit. But then when you get in a fight with the Bucks and shit backstage, and you may or may not have hurt or strained pre-existing injuries, and, you know, CM Punk fucking gets left at a train station before, and he fights Jack Perry, and his medical doesn't get paid for or whatever. So, you know, it just all depends on where you lie in Shadow, Butcher, and Blade, because Tony loves them. He has an affinity for them. So Dynamite's 6-year anniversary this Wednesday will be a 2.5-hour special. Just get rid of Collision and make a 3rd hour of Dynamite. I've been calling it forever. It's coming. It's incoming. Okay, there will be a 3-hour Dynamite. The sickos will praise it. Yeah, 3 hours more wrestling. And Collision will go away. Or maybe move to Thursday and just become 1 hour. And you can go against TNA or whatever the fuck you want to do over there. Or just stay on Saturday, but just be 1 hour. I think Collision's on Thursday tomorrow as well, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have to check in with that. So the AEW and Official League collection is live now. It's a limited edition collaboration uniting AEW stars and USL soccer clubs. It's available now online with select items from shopaew.com and the full collection in each club's team store. Get yours while supplies last. So you have the Pittsburgh Hounds. They collabed with Claudio. If there's any hooligans in the chat, any footy fans, Zam, it's raw, right? Any of you motherfuckers in there in the chat that want to pipe up, let me know. Is this stuff cooking or what? There's barbed wire on the bottom. You have Orange Cassidy, the Orange County Soccer Club, and it's just like very minimalistic merch. It looks like a fundraiser for like a kids thing. Why wouldn't they? I don't know, dude. The Orange Cassidy shit doesn't work. You can't just whip him out and be like, here's some fucking merch. I don't know, dude. They could have done way more with this guy, pushing him as like the children's guy that they get behind and are like, oh, we love Orange type thing. And instead they like really booked him for like a year and a half as a serious wrestler, taking everyone to the limit, bleeding, fucking wrestling Moxley and all this shit. Is just ridiculous, man. They really fumbled that. I think Cassidy's one of the greatest fumbles in AEW history, and some people might be like, that's insane of you to say that. But I truly believe he was their play at like, how do we get the children? Instead, it was like grown man children buying his merch, and they're like, well, he moves merch. So Bandidos Locos with the lightning bolt, okay? The El Paso Locomotive FC. And it's got like a Thunderbolt stripe on there. Interchangeable with Thunder Rosa's gear. No. Moving along here. So Women's Blood and Guts is finally happening on Collision. It's announced that we're going to get Women's War Games, and I think there'll be 2 Blood and Guts matches in one, or the women the only ones getting it, because it'll be so funny if they go WWE style and do a men and a women's Blood and Guts. And I'm glad that the Women's Blood and Guts is finally happening. However, they had that with the Outcasts or whatever, when Saraya debuted and she's with Storm and Ruby and they're putting together this group. That's when they were supposed to do it, man. They waited all this, right? Like Britt Baker was still around, and I think there was like an angle where Britt Baker watched someone get caned or whatever, or Britt Baker caned someone, and whatever the fuck was going on. You had heat on Britt, you had Saraya, was doing her thing. She just came in. It's like, that was the time to do it, man. And instead, they just waited so long. They're doing it. They announce it on Collision. And then they just sort of throw together the participants. Like, it's just really random. Tony thinks, like, we've got so many women now. Let's add titles and now do a blood and guts. Like, no, dude, the more shit you add, the more stipulations. And see, this is what people have to understand about being creative and writing shit, okay? Like, let's say you're writing a superhero character or something. Limitations are a good thing. Like, okay, let me give you a wrestling example. When Cody Rhodes is like, right away, he lost that match, and he's like, I can't challenge for the world title ever. Why? Well, because it's a story piece. Like, it's something that limits you. The more of those things you add, the more limited you are. However, it's a device that you can work around that can create intrigue or, add an extra layer of nuance, something that goes without saying, it doesn't matter how many wins Rhodes got. You can't challenge for that belt. Oh, it's wrestling. You can go back. Exactly. Just like in comic books, someone dies, you can bring them back to life. We all know, right? But the more things you add, the more limited. Tony thinks like, oh, the more free. Now I can just like throw women's tag matches together and all this shit. No, now you have to do something about it. Like, now you have to book a women's tag division and flesh it out, or else people are going to shit on it. You limited yourself more by doing this. You need to remove some of these restraints you've put on yourself, i.e., what I've suggested. Dude, get rid of all these Ring of Honor belts, merge them with your AEW ones, and then like reinvent Ring of Honor as like your developmental system. Get it away. Don't even let us know who's on that roster. Do your own invasion thing. Well, people would shit on it because NXT and TNA are doing their thing, their showdown, right? And so it's too late for that. He should have did it early on. Like, get rid of some of these belts so you're not restrained so much. Let some of these guys out of their deals. Don't just scoop everybody up. Don't just sign Ace Austin. Didn't he lose his debut match and then now he's just nowhere to be found again? Like, why handcuff yourself? Now people can go, why the fuck aren't you using Ace Austin? Ace Austin would have been a pivotal player in the TNA NXT invasion. He'd be like the Stone Cold, the guy who switches sides. And is he signed to NXT or is he signed to TNA? Were the dirt sheets right? Is his contract up? You'd have all the sheets like, no, his deal's really up. Oh, it could be a work, Brian. Think about it. But instead, Ace Austin signs with, and I'm don't mean to shit on Ace Austin, but it's like he signs to AEW, and then what came up to where all of a sudden he has one match, he's just disappeared. So like by Tony Khan doing this, he just handcuffs himself more, adding more titles. It doesn't liberate you, Tony. It doesn't make your job easier. It makes it way fucking harder. And you need to listen people who are trying to like liberate you, like cancel Collision. Why? Because I need you to just focus on fucking Dynamite. I just need you to figure out how to format a 2-hour show and to figure out what people actually folks want to see on TV. You haven't done that yet in 6 years, bro. We just need that first. Okay? And then we can, like, let's get back to drawing fucking houses like you were before. What happened? So, women, blood, and guts. I mean, I advocated for it a long time ago. If you go rewind this show, I was like, why aren't they doing it? They're building to it clearly. They fucking got to do it. He waits so long on everything. The Acclaimed, he waited too long to put the tag titles on them. Private Party, too long to put the tag titles on them. Swerve as well, when he won the championship, everyone kind of thought he was gonna. And then and then they wait too long to where like the internet's complaining about it. Then they put it on Swerve. And then they don't give him a homecoming. They give Moxley a homecoming on Dynamite for winning the New Japan title in Japan. They just can't help it. Like Velveteen Dream said, not to put him over, but they just undermine themselves all the time. They devalue their value, brother. They devalue their value, valuation, brothers. So We have more here. Scattered empty seats. Some Tony Khan cringe. I think he's doing karaoke. So Tony Khan's this is what Tony Khan's trying to do. He's trying to create an atmosphere like NXT where they're all going to sing songs and do karaoke and dance and have a good time. But Tony Khan's like, the best movie's Time Cop. Or like he's playing this song and everyone's like, no, dude, this show's already gone on 4 hours. We're walking out. You're here dancing and like putting your fist in the air. Yeah, Free Willy. And he's singing it in the mic. I belong to West Virginia. You know what I mean, man? This is embarrassing, dude. This is really embarrassing. And the crowd, like, this is from In the Crowd video, and you can't even hear the crowd. And he thinks he's going to create this, like, atmosphere of, like, the people dancing in NXT during the tapings in between the commercial breaks and shit, or, like, before the show goes on the air, or, like, because they do the Evolve tapings, and then there's in between, then they do NXT. And he thinks it's going to, like, create that vibe. Oh, between Collision and ROH tapings. And it's not creating that vibe, dude. It's fucking... He just wants to be... Someone in WWE, give this guy a job, man. He just wants to be WWE so bad, but he won't admit it. And him and Dave really think that just one day, someone other than them... Like, this is the problem. Tony Khan's supposed to be the guy who, like, sees some crazy shit and invests a bunch of money in it, and then it works or it doesn't. But he, like, has all the money, and he's hoping that, like, Triple H sees an Ospreay match that blows him away, and he goes, listen, guys, we just want to work together with you. Or something. That's what Dave thinks, that if, like, Dynamite came on instead of Monday Night Raw, everyone would just be like, oh my God, it would still be number one on Netflix and shit. Everyone's minds would be blown and they'd be fucking AEW fans the next day. It's just not realistic. Hologram suffered a knee injury on Wednesday at the show in Pittsburgh. It was to the same knee, rather, that kept him out of action. When examined, it was worse than expected, and he will be out for the rest of the fucking year. And I mean, that's courtesy of Dave.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
That could, I mean, it's likely true because Holograms is fave. Adam Copeland has been cast in The Beekeeper 2, starring Jason Statham, which is fucking huge and awesome. And again, man, I think there's other Copeland news here. So Adam Copeland, baby, they're saying they're saying that it's 2 years since his debut in AEW. So that means he either has the time he was injured left on his deal, or he picked up an extra year and he has 1 year plus the injury time left on his deal. So we probably won't see Cope for a while in WWE, is my guess. And after you break your leg like that too, I mean, you probably pick up that extra year. No, I don't know when they come to negotiation on that or whatever, but or they agree to that or whatever. But yeah, it could just be his injury time left, then he's free to go, or it's 1 year plus his injury time left. Okay. And as far as him back in WWE, I mean, they'll let him go do his movies and TV shows and stuff. They'll let him do that now. But again, does he want to be in a place where Triple H and Shawn Michaels are like his bosses? I don't know if Edge is really down with that. Speaking of down with that, I don't know why that's a transition, but Britt Baker's AEW contract should extend. Speaking of contracts, could extend to 2027 with added up injury time. Yeah, I'm like fairly certain it is in 2027. And Copeland's will go till 2027 as well. And that's why I've told you guys 2025, expect like the exodus of AEW. It's slowed down, it's quieted up, but I was spot on. And I told you guys, and 2027 is going to be a wild one. Hey, I heard you were a wild one. For people, I think, in WWE and AEW, I think 27 will be fun. Dynamite, well, that is if Tony Khan's even on TV anymore. Let's be honest. So Awful Wrestling Post, Dynamite celebrates their 6th year tomorrow in a theater with less than the minimum 2,500 seats sold. Their first show had 14K in an NBA arena. That's not growth, that's a free fall. Yeah, dude. Oh, God, like what happened? Reduced capacity. Yeah, so this is what I read earlier, right? It's approximately 6,600 seats. But the reduced capacity is 25, and they couldn't even no, I think they did. They sold like 3,000 some tickets. But again, Awful posted this like 2 days ago. So just getting the current ticket map update, I believe they did exceed 3,000. Now, whether Tony's papering these houses or not, hey, that's up for debate as well. I would not be shocked if we found evidence that he was, if there isn't evidence of that already. Anthony Bowen says there were times he thought he'd lose his job in AEW because of Max Caster. So people don't understand what I went through backstage with Max. I can't be any more genuine. There were times where I thought I was not going to have a job anymore, and that is terrifying as somebody who has always dreamed of being on television, being on Dynamite, wrestling every week, and then to come to work and potentially have that ripped away for something that you didn't even do. That's a petrifying thought. And that's what I lived with every week, tagging with this guy, because I'm not going to get into it. There was just occurrence after occurrence after occurrence after occurrence where I was cleaning up this guy's mess. Yeah, so it's just, and it's funny, TNA Wrestling's trending, and so is Jada, but AEW's not right now, and their show's about to come on in 5 minutes. But Max Caster was dropping bars about the Biden and Trump administrations and stuff, right? Like he makes fun of like both political sides, and he was saying like shit about celebrities and really sus stuff and really like borderline, oh shit, can you say that on TV stuff? And I love the acclaim. I really did. But again, I think they kind of fucked it up, and they should have there should have just been a tag story that lasted a little longer, and they should have split them up. They shouldn't have rode the scissor me daddy ass thing into the ground. Like, they should have removed Billy Gunn from the group, maybe switched them back heel, had Bowens split off, and then push Bowens as a singles a little bit more. I think he has tremendous upside. He's on like every red carpet. He does all these red carpets. He's always with celebrities. It's like, where the fuck is this guy on your TV show? You know what I mean? Jesus. But it's because him and Caster got over on their own, and Tony Khan just, anybody who gets over on their own, he just doesn't fuck with for some reason. So again, here's the, oh no, they didn't even do 2,000. September 30. This is so they didn't even do 3,000. I stand corrected, and I apologize. I think I was trying to correct Awful there, but I actually fucked up. The price is wrong. He's right. They didn't. I was looking at a different show. I'm sure it'll come up in the bookmarks. It was one I commented on. You guys can look on my Twitter. I quote tweeted and was like, well, 3,000's a good house for AEW now, but that's not saying much. I kind of took a shit on them. So you guys can go find that tweet on my Twitter, or perhaps it's bookmarked here. But no, Awful is right. And maybe, well, this is just for the Collision tomorrow. Yeah. So I think at this Dynamite, they have 3K. So they're doing Collision tomorrow, not taping it after Dynamite. That's why I'm getting confused. Either way, they haven't even done 2K tickets sold for this venue. That is fucking terrible, dude. So why is Collision airing tomorrow as well? I'm curious about that. Or are they just taping it and then airing it on Saturday? I'm curious. But dude, that is fucking terrible. Jesus. Moving along here. All AEW All Elite VIP. So some positive news about AEW. The Wes 1984 says, while everyone is trying to justify $200 for nosebleed seats for WWE SNME in December, bro, it's John Cena's last match. Hey, it's Kiss's last ever fucking show. And they got the whole band back together. The OG band, and it's their last show ever. and Ace Frehley's there. He's not on drugs and shit, allegedly, right? Oh man, 200 for no. It's not justifying anything. It's Cena's last match. Okay, so Conrad Thompson, I know he wasn't charging that much for Flair's last match, but this is a Cena who can actually go still. Okay. I just got, so for some reason, this guy makes it about WWE, which is cringe, but he goes, I just got my AEW Blood and Guts ticket with all elite VIP sitting entrance aisle row 2 seat 1 for just over 600. Premium ringside for WWE is in the thousands. Suck it. No, it's not suck it, stupid. Like, you got no likes on this, bro. You got no likes on this. Tagged everybody, added everybody. No likes. How the fuck does that happen? Because your take is ass, the Wes, okay? It has nothing to do with WWE. WWE, it's supply and demand. So the VIP experience for WWE compared to the AEW VIP experience is night and day. Night and day. And that's just what it boils down to. And then, like, suck it. See, these people just want to hate WWE. That's all it is. So AEW's Tony Schiavone names his top 5 wrestling moments. 1, Hulk Hogan turning heel. 2, Ric Flair leaving WCW. 3, WrestleMania 3. 4, Crockett buying TBS time slot in 85. 5, a huge leap in time here. Bayley versus Sasha Banks at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Even that, like, he couldn't have even lied and said, oh, you know, man, the best
guy's Tony Khan.
Like, he couldn't even, Tony Schiavone, the best guy's Tony Schiavone. He couldn't even lie and be like, oh, it was when, like, Danielson came back to wrestling or something. Bayley versus Sasha at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. 0 fucking AEW anything anywhere. I think that's pretty funny. So Tony Khan believes AEW will still be going strong in 2035 and beyond. Toy Story 5's coming out. To infinity and beyond. Am I right, guys? So Tony's like, I always look forward to these anniversaries, both as milestones and as opportunities to think about the future. 10 years from now, at the 16-year anniversary of Dynamite. Oh, that's so cringe to say. I believe AEW will still be going strong. Our goal is to continue as the place where the best wrestle for many years to come. Talking about in 10 years, 2035. You don't even know what's going to happen on your show 10 days from now, Tony. Okay? I would just relax on this whole 2035 talk here. All right? So here is the show I was talking about tonight. I brain farted and I thought that Collision, like usual, was being tacked on or taped. They were going to like air half an hour extra of Dynamite, then tape Collision after or whatever. And so I thought the venue that Awful was talking about earlier, he was speaking about this one that did 3,300, right? But no, he was actually talking about this shitty Collision that has 1,700 tickets sold, which, goddamn, that is terrible. That's terrifying. But this place here, man, it holds 6,000 people. There's 6,000 seats on the map, 6,100, and they sold 3,300. Like, why? Like, here's the thing, man. If you can sell 1,000 tickets for more money, let's say, and then the 3,000 tickets you sell for less money, then everybody walks out, or you have to paper the house a bit, or it costs you way more in building fees and all that. Union workers that you fucking cheap out and sue you in the end or whatever. You want to avoid all that. Maybe just run a smaller building, charge a little bit more for the tickets because the sickos who are going to go are going to go. Just everything seems a little ass backwards, but I digress. Speaking of ass backwards, Tony Khan believes the Young Bucks are currently the best they've ever been and have been better and fresher than ever in 2025. Again, man, I just vehemently disagree. They go to Japan, they come back, all of a sudden they're different. And now they're doing their being the elite skits on Dynamite, and I just don't think it's going to win people over. They've turned so many people off, you can't run with the Bucks. You can't have the Bucks doing a silly video package before Dynamite. Only the being the elite fans are watching that. Okay? Nobody else cares or gives a fuck what's going on. So Tony Khan says, I think Matt and Nick came back fresher and better than ever in 2025. And that's coming from someone who's been on the receiving end of the most deadly move in pro wrestling at their hands. So I'm probably the last person who should be out here singing their praises. This guy really is marking out for himself, being like, I took the deadliest move in pro wrestling. And he says, however, I'll be the first to say that the Young Bucks are a huge part of AEW. They were one of the major reasons we were able to launch the company 6 years ago. They've been involved since the very first Dynamite, and when they came back in shocking fashion this past April at AEW Dynasty, after several months away, I think they started doing the best wrestling of their AEW careers. In my opinion, dude, they're doing the same old shit, just slower. They're wrestling at the highest level today, and what's happening with their on-screen lives has been fascinating. I entirely disagree, man. They lost EVP status. It's meant nothing. They're still booked in matches. They're still like working their way into title shots. And all that's happening is people are fucking with them, fucking with their Trons, fucking with their thumbtacks, got production to put gummy bears under the ring, fuck with their t-shirts and stuff. Like, that's just all stupid, goobery little kid shit. In my opinion, okay, so their humanity, their vulnerability, no, dude, they seem incredibly inhumane and they seem invulnerable. Like, it doesn't matter what you do to these guys. They won't go away. No lessons learned. Now, maybe they've been getting fucked with and they're building up to something, but you have to understand it's just very elementary. Like, no one really cares. They're a turnoff to wrestling fans, okay? To the masses. The fans have always engaged with and been interested in the Young Bucks. I disagree. Matt and Nick are two of the most talented wrestlers in the world and people of great character. This year, I truly believe they're the best they've ever been. Yeah, well, Tony Khan's beliefs I think are out of whack sometimes when it comes to some of these wrestlers. But that was to Forbes. And to Forbes Sports and Wolken Rob, Tony Khan expresses his excitement over the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship. He believes now is the perfect time to introduce them. Jesus. He says, I'm very excited about the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship coming to AEW this year. Throughout 2025, the women's division has been delivering more great matches and rivalries than ever before. And so many top stars have continued to emerge. With the roster at its strongest, the highest quality it's ever been, I think now is the perfect time to introduce the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. Women's wrestling in AEW is the best it's ever been. And these titles will make it even stronger. See, that's the problem. He thinks that belts make shit stronger. He's one of those marks, bro. Holy fuck, man. You can't own the wrestling company and think in 2025 that the belts automatically make everything stronger, dude. Now you're backed into a corner booking wise. Now you have to establish more teams, and then you have to just put them on two ladies that are going to be shelved because you're going to need them in all these fucking four-ways and shit that you keep doing all the time. And you're going to need to separate them for Monet and Stat, and then whatever Tony's doing now. Maybe Tony becomes a tag champ or whatever down the line with someone, but he fucked up and he's like, now's the perfect time. I don't know, man. When you had Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa, who's just leaves Japan, signs to ROH, you slapped an ROH women's title on her. Now she just wrestles matches randomly on Collision and four-ways and shit. And you're just forgetting about her, even though she was over. You had her, Mariah May, Toni Storm. That could have been, maybe you launch it with Mariah May and Toni Storm being tag champs, and then you build a division around them. Just a thought, just an idea. But now it's like, okay, you're going to put them on like Monet and her random partner. Camille comes back. No, she's got heat, allegedly. But Monet and her partner, and then like eventually Julia Hart and Sky Blue are going to get them. Okay, but then who else is looming? Like, what other teams are being... Like, Statlander's got some friends. She teams with Willow and shit like that, but she's the fucking women's world champion now. So, I don't know. We'll see. But he's just sort of booked himself into a corner. Speaking of booking himself into a corner here, let me check in with chat here, and then we'll get into the Jack Perry portion of the news here. that I wanted to talk about. Cash Monet for $5 says, imagine an alternate timeline where AEW is free on YouTube, cheap tickets and merch and all ages from the start. Thank you, Cash Monet, for your support. I really appreciate that. Guys, make sure you become a member for only 99 cents. You get access to my bonus shows Mondays. Make sure you guys super chat in. That's how you can support, or check out patreon.com/prowrestletimes. I just dropped 2 videos the last 2 days, so that's been awesome. And another thing that's happening, I want to plug, and then I'm going to respond to Cash Monet here. But another thing, guys, every Thursday now at 8 p.m. Eastern, a new show. So starting tomorrow, every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week. And the segment took off. We're still roasting Dave here on this show, as you guys know, like we've already been roasting him throughout. And that's precisely why I'm making it a show. It's the segment so nice. Everybody's doing their little Dave segments. So it's time I innovate the game once more. We're adding, Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week. I've talked about adding shows that maybe weren't called like Pro Wrestle, whatever the fuck, right? In the past, I'm sure you guys know. And so here it is, the first official one, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. You know, the segments were going like an hour and a half every time. We're just going to, I found my muse, my stuttering John. So we're just going to run with it, brothers. And we're still going to roast Dave here, though, a bit. You guys already know it goes down. But yeah, that is starting tomorrow, every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on YouTube. And it will be on like Spotify and iHeart, whatever the fuck, and Apple, iTunes, iCasts or whatever, right? Stitcher, Deezer, D's Nuts. I don't know what all of them are called, but they'll be on all those podcast platforms as well. So those are my plugs. Thank you guys for being here. Sorry, Cash Monet says, imagine an alternate timeline. Well, dude, they had Dark and Dark Elevation on YouTube already, and Ring of Honor could exist in that form, and WWE is going to creep in and have AAA exist more and more in that form, and they fucked up. AEW fucked up. So cheap tickets and merch. I mean, yeah, the cheap tickets, I don't know if that's, I think they're so cheap because people don't want to buy them. So that's why they're so cheap. I mean, I don't think that's like even going to lure more people in. But all ages from the start. Yeah, that's what they should have been with guys like Orange Cassidy. Then the Rizzler would make sense, you know? And a lot of people say, oh, not everything in WWE is kid friendly. Like, you know, Rhea Ripley's cheeked up and shit. And it's like, yeah. And if a parent said, I don't want my kid watching that, I wouldn't argue them on that either. Just like I'm not going to listen. So like if someone said WWE's family friendly, I think it is for the most part. I think AEW for the most part isn't. Okay. Now, yes, there's one segment where the Rizzler pops up or Orange Cassidy comes out and high fives a kid. But for the majority, WWE is family friendly. For the majority, AEW is not at all family friendly. Even the attention span thing. Like, I'm not saying we should turn kids into TikTok brain zombies, but just the retention rate of children. Like, all these people want to say, oh, man, you know, AEW's a more refined, it's for high IQ wrestling fans and shit. Okay, well, then what are kids? Kids are low IQ dumb fucks, okay? That's why they're not allowed to vote. That's why you can't send them to war, right? If we're chalking it up. Like, they're fucking little things that are growing, and they're developing, and they're learning every single day. Their retention rate is shorter. So when people sit there and cope and go, oh, AEW is more refined, and it's more of a, it's like, okay, yeah, so then it's not for kids. More nuanced. Oh yeah, the movie The Prestige, it's for kids. Show it to a 6-year-old, he'll get it. Fucking Tenet, show it to a fucking 7-year-old, he'll get it. Like, no, right? So let's say that is the case, which I disagree with that notion, but even sickos, that's what I mean. Like, their own bullshit doesn't even stack up in a pile correctly because they can't keep up with it. Anyways, let's get back into some. We have some more news here, okay? So Jack Perry, right? He was very critical of Tony Khan's booking. and the pillar booking, his past booking in particular. And Jack Perry admits to Vice that he did not want to do the Four Pillars program in 2023. Jack Perry's new name is Whack Perry, W for win. Because, like, what the fuck? Here's a base take. Based Perry here goes, the Pillars thing up to that point was the most miserable I had ever been. I didn't want to do that at the time. I literally said, I begged. I was like, can we do this later? I feel like this is only really benefiting one person and we all could grow so much more. Holy shit, Whack Perry? W Jack Perry? God damn it, man. That's what I was saying. So Phil Marks is right, and you all shouldn't have fucking blocked me and got mad. And
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
So Phil, don't miss again. Don't mean to say told you so, but come on
Just in
now.
from Phil Marks of PWT. He says, I told you so.
So he says, I feel like this is only really benefiting one person. I had just beaten Christian when that happened, and then Christian Cage got injured and the whole thing took away longer than it was supposed to. I was kind of floating around, killing time until he got back so I could beat him. That shouldn't be the case, dude. After I beat him, the next thing I got put in was that I was like, could you guys let me get going a little bit? Sammy could be built up even more. Darby. And this could be a huge thing where any one of us could win the world title at the end of this. Yeah, no, Tony doesn't give a fuck about that. He gets an idea, then he has to execute it. He doesn't see any... It's like the idea for making Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week a show. It hit me a long time ago. When the flute thing started taking off is when I originally considered it. I talked about earlier, too. A long time ago, I told you guys on the show, I was like, I'm thinking of adding a show. I don't know. I got something in the works. I might be a pre-recorded series and stuff. I was, the idea was bouncing around in my head for a long time, but you got to take time to execute these things, man. It's a marathon, not a race, as they say, right? So, but Jack Perry wants to bring a darker vibe to the AEW team. Well, we don't want you to. We want you to sing, wear grass, and go, oh, 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 right? We don't want you to fucking, again, Jungle Express or Jurassic Express and Orange Cassidy. They had the kids right there with those gimmicks. Right fucking there. Even the Lucha Bros to an extent. But Jack Perry says he begged for the Four Pillars match. And he said, I felt so not good about what I was doing at that point at all. I really felt people were starting to turn on me a little there. And I thought, I think I should lean into that and like make this story here. Am I going to turn to win the world title? That was met with people being like, no, you got to stay face. You're Jungle Boy. Yeah, but Jungle Boy has nothing to say and people starting to not like me. Bro, people just don't like you because you started slamming people in a fucking glass and arguing with Phil Brooks and acting like your shit don't stink. That's your own goddamn fault. And people were starting to not like Jungle Boy because you're trying to do something with Jungle Boy that Jungle Boy isn't. Okay? The Jungle Boy character is him waving his arms and being the little Mowgli with his pet dinosaur, and then maybe you get a mouthpiece who talks for you guys, who's like just strictly a manager. Maybe you get Harley Cameron. They seem to stick her with anything that starts getting over, right? And she becomes Jungle Girl or Anna Jay even. If you're going to go heel, you did it the wrong way. You're not this hardcore, I'm Raven, I'm driving a short bus, aren't I badass? Yeah, man, no. You're a Hollywood rich kid cutting promos from your kitchen with the pool in the background, and you're dating like the hottest girl on earth, and you need to be like smacking her ass and playing your dad's character from 90210. A good little Hollywood rich boy. Okay? That's how you fucking turn heel. Everybody goes, I'm hardcore now, man. Man, I'm totally hardcore, bro. That's what everyone does in AEW. It's fucking cringe. And Jungle Boy's like a Ricky Steamboat fucking gimmick, bro. That thing could have stayed babyface forever and you would have made tons of money. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was AEW news. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. So we're watching Kenny Omega do his thing here. And let's see if we get a finish here. Bandito's doing his float over. German. Matt rolls out of it, or maybe that was Nick. Over to Josh into like a tombstone. They're going to like Meltzer drive them. They're just running around with Bandito in their arms, setting up these crazy spots. Triple tombstone spot. I don't know. Let's get into pardon me here. I need some iced coffee. And we got some more news to get into. Soda water. I have one right here. A lemon lime sparkling. And an iced coffee that I made myself, vanilla. Okay, so let's get into, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to start with AEW news, but let's go back a little bit and let's get into a segment I like to call miscellaneous news.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
So Lacey Evans, okay, formerly, or I think she's just Lacey Evans, right? She hits even more wrestling sites with false DMC claims in ongoing effort to erase WWE and OF history. So I don't know if there's a conspiracy afoot, but I guess she doesn't want to be remembered as a WWE superstar or as an OF girl. And I don't know if it's because it is not Christian. But Lacey once again flooding the internet with fraudulent DMCA takedown requests, and this time she's dragging even more pro wrestling websites into her campaign. The former WWE star, filing under her real name Macy Estrella, is actively trying to wipe out any trace of her WWE career, which is interesting. Why? Is it because she was in skimpy outfits and shit like that? I think she's doing the whole like, go with Christ, brah. You know, I think it's that sort of thing, which is fine. And maybe like her kids are getting older and she thinks that now she realizes, I don't know how old her kids are as Kenny Omega lands on his neck and almost dies. I don't know if maybe, because here's the thing with all these, I'm just going to say it. This may be like, oh, what are you, a red pill, bro? Red pill YouTuber, bro? No. But it's like with all these women doing OF and just putting their booty cheeks online, like you all want to be mothers one day. No, every woman comes to that realization for the most part one day, like, oh shit, I want to have kids. And then it's like your kids got to see, they're going to get made fun of that shit for that shit. I'm sorry. It's going to happen. And, you know, you see it on Twitter. People are like, yeah, well, he can be sad in a fucking Bugatti or whatever. It's like, kids don't care about that. They don't give a shit. A kid who's born in like ultra poverty doesn't know that they're poor. You know what I mean? They don't understand that shit, right? It's like memories and shit you create with kids, okay, guys? That's what fucking, I don't know here. I'm not trying to parent-splain to anybody, but like maybe it's one of those things where she's like, oh fuck, I don't want any of that stuff up there. I don't know it's that. That would just be my speculation. Like, damn, you're pulling your titties out with Mandy Rose and stuff like a year ago, I thought. So like what happened now? You're trying to scrub it down. I get it if people are like illegally stealing your OF content and putting it up places. Like, okay, yeah, you have every right to fucking DMCA them, but your wrestling shit too? Like, nah, you can't do that. That's forever. So only OF related content and public controversy What happened? When did I... No sound? Jesus Christ. How much was I going off there? Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, Andrade's back in AEW. Let's just switch here for a sec. I mean, how humiliating. And then he's in the Callis family or what? And then he's just in the Callis family. That's all TK has, unfortunately. A long time. Close to 5 minutes. Are you guys serious? Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I got DMCA'd. Yeah. I'm so sorry, guys. So I don't know what part I was at essentially, but just let me know. Was I reading the websites? Did you guys hear me? I listed like 7 websites or whatever that they went off on. It's just funny if sickos put this over, right? You didn't hear the websites. Oh my God. Yeah, I just got pwned. Okay. Well, everybody come back. Sorry. I'm sorry that we got nuked there. Yeah, Andrade. I don't know what they're doing. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Back to the segment. I have it all here. I didn't go. I just am going to read these websites here again for you guys. And just Andrade coming back. Jesus Christ. Like already. Like, why? What's the fucking point? What is he going to accomplish? What is he going to do in the Callis family? You know, I'm curious to see. I mean, I'm not hating on it entirely. It's just like he was going to smack people out. But then again, like Sammy Guevara, wasn't he going to like smack Guevara, or he did? And it's like, okay, well, he's banished because of Monet. So does it really matter? And Andrade's a dope guy. Like, I like Andrade. I'm not hating him for one second. Like going to any of these companies. I like his wrestling and all of that, but it's just like, okay. Everybody shit on him. Dave was like, Andrade is one of these people, like, you know, Aleister Black and Miro's and Andrade's. They just want to go there till WWE takes them back. Now he's just like welcomed back with arms wide open and shit. Craziness. Okay, so let's get back to this over here. So I completely botched. So Lacey Evans, right? She flooded the internet with a bunch of false DMCA copyright strikes. Okay. And Ringside News confirmed that Evans is continuing to misuse copyright laws in a deliberate effort to remove legally protected content. She's targeting images and articles that are not owned by her, many of which are from WWE programming or her own public social media posts, all of which fall under fair use protections for news reporting and commentary. The latest round of complaints includes takedowns aimed at multiple respected outlets. Okay. Now, here's the problem with this. The outlets are PW Torch, Post Wrestling, E-Wrestling, PWPicks.net, TNAPicks.com, WrestlingForum.com, CagesideSeats.com, Reddit, TJR Wrestling, News 18. And one of the most interesting things about this new wave is the specific content she's trying to bury. Evans attempted to remove an article titled Lacey Evans boldly states she doesn't miss WWE after departure, which simply covered her own public statements. She also went after pieces documenting her viral feud with Sergeant Slaughter, another incident that unfolded entirely in the public eye. Now, here's the thing, man. When these people start, like Lacey Evans and Mandy Rose, we're about to talk about Mandy Rose as well because she's done the same thing. You don't want to start striking fucking content creators. They will turn on you so hard. They will turn on you so fucking hard and fast. And they will start, it'll just amplify the shit 80 times over. If you're a fucking boomer, don't argue with content creators, like young content creators, about what constitutes fair use. Okay? Even small ones. All right? Brendan Schaub, I roast him enough on this show. He famously recently set the precedent on what it is. That what constitute fair use. He sued this small YouTuber and he got fucking owned by this kid. Okay? And Ringside News goes on to point out a great point. They're like, this tactic mirrors a previous situation involving Mandy Rose, who earlier this year filed over 80 false DMCA complaints, with many directly targeting Ringside News in an effort to scrub mentions of her fan time career after her WWE release. It's clear that Evans is following the same playbook, attempting to weaponize the DMCA system that suppresses factual reporting and rewrite her online history. But Ringside News will not back down and is actively filing counterclaims against every false takedown submitted. Millionaires and billionaires always do this shit. They always try to scrub their internet fingerprint, you know? Their digital footprint. Trying to silence coverage she once benefited from isn't just dishonest, it's legally questionable. When public figures turn on the very media that help build their brand, it raises serious concerns about transparency and abuse of the legal system. And Ringside News is absolutely right about this. She's fucking up and she can't erase her fucking past. Now, I said it like earlier, and I don't know if my mic cut out before I said this, but like, I don't know if it has to do with her trying to hide, like her kids got older and she's like, oh man, they're going to be embarrassed by this stuff, or if it has to do with her just trying to erase any controversy. The internet's forever though. Like, you can't DMCA strike Reddit and shit. I don't think it works that way. And if she starts doing that to YouTubers and stuff, if she was doing that to a bunch of YouTube channels, they could all just counterclaim her at the same time. She'd be fucked. There's no way she would dispute, or they could all dispute and she would take them all to court and win. It just wouldn't happen. And it's unfortunate that her and Mandy Rose choose to go this route, like lashing out on the media, that when they're benefiting from the media, they're not trying to get shit pulled down, you know? So let's move along here. Hopefully you guys got all that. It'll be a bitch to clip after, but it is what it is. Shotzi has been on a tear since leaving WWE. Here's her in MLW cooking. Rocking on, fellas.
Gourbuster gives way to a huge senton. Shotzi Blackheart remains undefeated in MLW.
Here's your winner, ballsy badass, Shotzi Blackheart.
Tom, every time we see her, Shotzi gets stronger. Every time we see her, Shotzi gets more and more familiar with the lay of the land of the Major League. And I have a feeling, as good as Shotzi looked tonight, we have not seen how great she'll be.
So I don't know. She's undefeated in MLW. Good for her. Good to see her doing her thing and thriving outside of WWE. Moving along here. So Elena Black, speaking of OF, brags about making more money in a month than many wrestlers make in a year. And we knew that was going to happen. I mean, that's like the Jasmine Nix thing. I went on White Heat with JJ Alexander and my buddy Matthew over on their YouTube channel, and I did that show earlier today, and we talked about Jasmine Nix a little bit, and it's like, dude, she'll make more just like playing games, streaming on Twitch than she will wrestling, you know? So this doesn't shock me at all. Cesar Duran, speaking of MLW, he took shot at WWE last night at MLW Fury Road. And he says, well, some other company packs up their big shows and shipped it off to Saudi Arabia to take that blood money. We came here with the real deal right here in Texas. Selena De La Renta added to the state sentiment, telling the crowd, remember that a Major League Wrestling, we don't play soft. We don't play safe. We choose violence. See, MLW owns that shit, and they own where they are, like their position in the wrestling world. Whatever. It gets people talking about it when they take jabs at WWE. It's not like their identity. It's not something people wish they'd stop doing. you know? So are you interested in seeing OVW continue the Wrestler series on a new platform? So OVW is filming new wrestling show after Netflix passes on season 2. That's incredibly unfortunate. It means that the numbers likely weren't there. But I'm down to watch whatever, Wrestlers 2 or whatever the fuck they call it. I'll check it out on whatever streamer it's on, but is the production there? Is the quality going to be there? Is the editing going to be there? Is it the same production team? I don't fucking know. But that show is really good, and I implore you all, Wrestlers or whatever on Netflix, go and check that out. And it's cool that they're doing that. You know, they got a little bit of a YouTube boost after the last one. Zuffa Boxing is reportedly nearing a deal to bring the new boxing promotion to Paramount in 2026. So again, Zuffa Boxing, we went through that whole thread with Niccolo Piccolo, and basically we talked about TKO on 100% of the fucking market share. We talked about CBS and Paramount and how they want to move in on buying WBD. Well, Zuffa Boxing is nearing a deal, and they got the deal with Paramount. Zuffa Boxing announces broadcast partnership with Paramount. So Zuffa, TKO, Turkey Al Sheik, all of those connections, right? Endeavor, WME, all that fucking, right? It all goes back to what Niccolo Piccolo was talking about, and when Paramount's in the Zuffa and TKO Endeavor business, Dana White, Turkey Al Sheik business, I mean, inevitably everybody wants to say, oh, WWE's a MAGA company. And if the media is continuing to move more conservatively or balance itself out from how far left as some people have assessed, right? Whatever, then as Niccolo Piccolo pointed out, then ultimately I just don't know if we're going to see AEW on the WBD, TNT, TBS, anything come 2027. Honest to God, like my eyes have been greatly opened just seeing this all play out. And Paramount, if they scoop WBD and they're in the Zuffa Boxing business and the adjacent to UFC business, adjacent to fucking UFC's got this whole new thing they're working out to. It's just not looking good for AEW, man. That's all I can honestly say. And no sickos are looking at any of this. They're just like, oh man, Speed got kicked off X. It's like, okay, who gives a shit? Like, what? Who gives a fuck? Like, Sting's son is going to make his pro wrestling debut next month, which is really cool. Game Changer Wrestling, GC Dub booked some legends for GCW on November 22nd at the American Dream Show, and they got Tommy Dreamer and Rhino with a Y, actually with an I, but with a Y for his WWE spelling, and then an I when he's on the indies and TNA and shit. But they got Killer Cross, Cardona, Bear Bronson, Joey Janela, Atticus Kogar, Matt Tremont, Maki Ito, Effie, and more. Just stacked. GCW doing the damn thing. So go and check that out. Carissa Rivera, a.k.a. Elektra Lopez, will make her NWA debut next week on NWA Power on Tubi, I believe. Is it Tubi? Or Roku or whatever the fuck? Against Kenzie Page, who wrestled Natalia. So that's awesome. Shout out Carissa Rivera, doing the damn thing in NWA. Hopefully Billy Corgan can bolster his fucking roster and get some more stuff going, you know? Pardon me. The Rock reveals he suffered a concussion while filming The Smashing Machine. He wanted his co-star to hit him for real, man, in the movie. As since it's an MMA movie, he had to go all the way for the role, dude. Of course he did. Of fucking course he did. It's method acting, man. I sent my co-stars dead rats in the mail, dude. Moving along here. So Long Island, House of Glory Wrestling, they say we're just getting started. We've only dropped 3 huge names so far. So Andrade, AEW superstar Andrade, Shayna Baszler, and Maki Ito are making their Long Island debut with Hog Wrestling there. So shout out HOG for doing the damn thing. They're putting on good shows. Let me check in the chat here for just 1 second, and then let's get back into the main event of miscellaneous news here. So George Capture's been a member for 17 months and says, I'm afraid I have some bad news. 50 likes. Guys, there is like over 260 people watching across X and YouTube. If you don't mind, youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Appreciate you all. You guys can become a member and your shit's in green like that. 99 cents for a membership. I do bonus shows on Mondays. Don't forget Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week. Official stream every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Thank you, George Capture, for that. And run those likes up, please and thank you. Julian Floyd's been a member for 4 months and says another ex-WWE NXT star, Sari, is supposed to be there tonight too. Yeah, so Sari, WWE, and I acknowledge you guys for being members. Thank you so much.
Acknowledge me.
So Julian Floyd, Sari is sought after for sure. They, WWE would sign her up if they could. Again, With that being said, though, I just don't think she liked her first run in WWE, which I don't blame her entirely. And thus, I would not be shocked if she showed up in AEW, especially because it's an anniversary. We want to make it memorable. And, Andrade and Sari are like the only two things he could really pull out of his back pocket. So I'm not shocked Andrade's back in AEW. I just thought, like, damn, dude, you should have given it some time. No, Andrade, he could have went and like feuded Mystico next or something. Maybe he can still do that, but I don't know. Tony, let's make a deal. Guevara's fucked anyways. The thing is that Guevara's banished because of Monet anyways. So now there's no issue there. That's why Kingston and Andrade can come back and all is well, Dennis King's been a member for 12 months. And Mike Sausalez has been a member for 13 months. All hail the Filluminati. PWT. Fo.
Oh, come on now, Eric.
That's gimmick infringement. I appreciate you guys very, very, very much. Round of applause for the PWT universe being here tonight. What a great turnout. Okay, let's get into like the main event of miscellaneous news here, okay? So a video surfaced. Now, I played that video for those of you who may or may not remember. I played that video of Jasmine Nix's boyfriend playing, which is all he'll ever be remembered as. He was at what was he at again? Like Disney World or Universal or some shit, and he's just being like overly hacky with like low-hanging racial jokes and shit, I guess. I'm not a virtue signaler. You guys fucking know that. Like Husey comes on, we make all kinds of jokes. It's just jokes, right? Got to be able to laugh at shit. But he's just like, oh, look, a Chinese thing. Oh, me Chinese, me so dumb. Like that's pretty much the extent of his jokes, right? Like women, oh, get them back in the kitchen, right? I can't remember what he said about Asian folks. He was like, oh, that's the same thing or whatever the fuck, right? So he's just making these hacky jokes and they're not even funny, but I get what it's like, this streamer culture. He just streams to morons, to 12-year-olds, little kids who are like, oh man, that's fucking funny. That rules. And so sorry, I just got a text over here. And so like, this guy's just super duper hacky, right? And he's shitty, and they're like, oh, maybe she got heat because her boyfriend's like being racialist and stuff. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it has to do with I think it has to do more with it's just the shock value, like what Raja Jackson got caught up in, right? These fucking kids just egging you on and putting over shit that's just like shitty and tasteless and hack, right? What more can I say about it? So here's another video that comes out of Jasmine Nix's boyfriend shitting on pro wrestling as fake. He's like, oh, it's fake and it's stupid type shit. Now, again, I don't think any of this heat bled off on her. I just think she got into wrestling. It's not her passion. She picked up and learned this skill. She's a natural at it. She's really good. But she's like, fuck it. I can just stream with this guy, be a model. I don't need access to the fucking gym and the meal plan in NXT. I already stay in good shape. I have great cardio. I was a soccer player. I'm all good. I don't need wrestling. I don't love wrestling. I can make more just Twitch streaming. I don't even have to get all Lacey Evans on everybody. I could just like fucking do a Patreon and like do lewd pictures. That's the word I'm looking for. Lewd. That means like not nude, but lewd, right? She could probably just do that like bikini pics when she goes out to the fucking beach and be fine, right? And then stream on Twitch, what's her favorite game? Just do IRL streams with her guy here. And he thinks it's a joke. They probably make fun of it behind closed doors and shit. And that's totally fine. That's their prerogative. I don't hate them for it. But yeah, this guy is a hater on pro wrestling. And maybe, I don't think this videos like these have to do with it in the way that it's like, oh, WWE's like, we know she came out and said, yeah, I didn't accept the money they offered. Apparently WWE even offered her more. But you still see some people online like, oh, she wasn't cut out, or like she didn't have the right attitude. Look at what her boyfriend said and stuff. And it's like, I just think she doesn't care about wrestling, and that's totally fine. Statlander didn't care about wrestling at all. She's just pretty fucking good at it and has a great look. So either way, I digress. Here you go.
Because you're in a headline. It's real. This is real.
Yeah, no, this is real.
It's close. Oh.
Today is day 11 of testing out me and my girlfriend's athleticism, and today we're doing her profession, which is wrestling. I have no idea what the I'm doing in here. Shout out to Legend Social Casino for letting us be here today. Any words of encouragement?
Good luck.
Any advice?
You always say how easy it is, so let's see. Show me.
I don't say it's easy.
Yes.
It's just fake.
So you don't even have to twitch your head.
Do I look like Jeff Hardy? It's my idol.
Mostly hitting the top of your shoulders. Yeah, what do you mean? All right, this is easy. This is the start. Good.
I'm like a young Jeff.
Okay, there you go.
No, Jade.
Second row, go. Yes. Yay!
That felt like shit.
Oh!
So here's them training and shit.
Hands close.
Oh, yeah.
So first the technique. Right one goes. Push you back. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm wrestling. You giving. I gotta give.
Because you're in a headline. It's real. This is real.
Yeah, no, this is real. What are you? Fuck this. Son of a bitch. All right, guys, we just got done wrestling. That shit sucked. Everything on my body hurts right now.
There you go. See? So he learns a quick lesson. It's real, pal. Wrestling's not fake. Where's my goddamn...
Wrestling's not fake!
But I will tell you one thing. That's fake. Now let me show you something that's real. Okay, we're going to go put in a parlay with Legend Social Casino. We got Tennessee versus Georgia. Tennessee plus 5.5. We got LSU money line. And to finish it off, we got Clemson.
Okay, yeah, you're not going to do your fucking Prize Picks ad or whatever on my shit. But even though I just said it, so I kind of botched. But yeah, man, him just like, but it was fake and da-da-da-da-da. Like, they're just making a bit out of it. Jasmine can just do what her boyfriend's doing and make more money than him because she's a super hot girl. It's like a cheat code in life, you know? We're just being honest here. But Mark Henry had this to say about Jasmine Nix's on Inside the Ring. This is what he had to say about Jasmine Nix's boyfriend.
Because we're the one that let him in the business, let her in the business, let him in the business. Just because you can don't mean you should. There's a lot of people that you shouldn't bring them into business. It's like, who's going to marry your daughter? You going to let some random smuck marry your daughter?
No way.
I'm not.
That's what we do in wrestling. We let random smucks in wrestling, female and male, because they look good or they accomplish something. Just because you accomplish something don't make you a candidate for the trust of our industry.
Right.
But we do it. But then they say, well, how do you know? How do you pick?
Yeah, Mark's spitting right now.
Passion and love for the industry. I was a fan. When the WWE found me, they found me because I was already actively acting like a wrestler.
Yeah.
Man, I was doing the poses and I was flexing and I was talking trash. I was being that kid. And they were like, man, this dude is tailor-made for wrestling. We got to bring him in. There are people that go to NXT, they've never heard of wrestling.
Ugh.
I hate that.
Yeah, that's awful, man.
And not just NXT, but every indie
What are you
promotion.
talking about?
Man, I've fallen into it.
There's people in TMZ who've never heard of fucking wrestling.
I've fallen into it.
This dude's co-host never heard of wrestling. He's just one of the fucking nerds from the newsroom who sucked at whatever the fuck else they were doing that day, and they're like, you, Harvey Levin's like, you get in there. That, ladies and gentlemen, was miscellaneous news.
Sometimes in life you gotta be a hoe.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Phil Marks, book my yarks. So we have more news to get into. We're gonna do TNA and WWE news since they're essentially like connected, right? We got some sickos tonight, and it's Orange Cassidy's match here. If you're interested in that. I thought there was audio issues only on my end. Some people bringing up the audio issues on Dynamite there. At least like Cassidy's going to put over Fletcher, but that's a positive, I guess. So, guys, there's about 300 watching across YouTube and X. Guys, starting tomorrow night, I want to plug this. Starting tomorrow night, every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It is Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week, the official podcast, the official show here live on YouTube, and then wherever podcasts are and all of that. So make sure you guys check it out tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. We're innovating the game once again. So everybody, if you can, banjos in the chat. For TNA news. So Kalani Jordan is the new Knockouts World Champion. She also is the captain of Team TNA in the Showdown. Cedric Alexander's current TNA contract status was revealed. And, Cedric Alexander's run in TNA is no longer a mystery. Like evolution is a mystery. He indeed signed to TNA. His contract details include the length of the deal. It hasn't all been made public, but he is signed. So, okay. We all fucking knew that already. What else happened? Masha Slamovich's TNA exit was already in motion before abuse allegations surfaced. And so I guess her contract was coming up, and I don't think they thought they were going to renew it or something. And I think WWE wasn't going to sign her, or maybe they were gonna, and then they decided now we're not going to. After that stuff came out, and it was just good timing for them, so they didn't have a controversy on their hands. But I like Masha Slamovich. This domestic shit is nasty, and it seems as though it kind of went both ways. Pause. Right? It just seems like they were both like beating the shit out of each other from what I could see. And I don't condone it either way, but it was like the texts that we read that were made public by the Akira's manager, it made it seem as though they were both acknowledging that they both were like being like abusalist towards towards each other mutually, which isn't good, But I digress. I don't know. I'm not in their living rooms. I'm not a fly on their wall. So hopefully Masha lands on her feet, and hopefully they just stay the fuck away from each other. So TNA returns to Full Sail University for a live episode of TNA Impact, a live TNA Turning Point and set of TV tapings from November 13th to November 15th. So there you go. Make sure you guys check that shit out. TNA's been doing really well. And so in other TNA news, in hilarious TNA news, what had happened was Matt Hardy showed up alongside Jeff Hardy. And they made a surprise appearance on Kai Cenat's record-breaking Mafia-thon 3 stream. And here we go. Let's take a look. The Hardys theme plays. Kai Cenat. It just shows you how popular these dudes are, man. To this day. So that was really cool. And then they, here we go. Jeff Hardy explains the origin of the name Swanton Bomb. Guys, patreon.com/prowrestletimes. I dropped 2 episodes of Tough Enough where I was watching along with JJ there. And he confirmed, like, he fucking knew Scott Hall back in the day. And so he confirmed this story that Jeff Hardy tells on Tough Enough in the exclusive footage. But the Hardy Boys were like guests. And they were there schooling these youngsters, and it was a good ass time. Check those out. But Jeff Hardy explains the origin of the name Swanton Bomb.
Swanton Bomb. Who came up with that name?
I did, man. I call it grace within the front flip, but then I said, yeah, Swan's beautiful and kind of majestic. So I asked Jim Ross when I said, why don't we call it, instead of Centon, Swanton?
That was Centon is what it is the technical name for it,
Yeah.
And Jeff modified it a little bit. And he said, it's kind of like a swan dive I do. And he does. He has such pretty ass form.
Damn.
Does this kid live here, or like where are they? Jesus fucking Christ. So Matt Hardy spits some game. Spit your game, talk your shit. And here we go. This is what the Hardy Boys pulled up and talked from all things ladder and table matches to favorite wrestlers and more.
And we modified it, and then what we did at that first tag team ladder match was just, we took it to a whole new level.
And whenever we went out there and we had that tag team ladder match, because as you question, we knew we were all 4 guys who were pretty athletic.
Right.
We could do a lot of cool shit, real innovative stuff. And whenever we went out and did that, man, it like changed the game for us. Like our reactions were different. People looked at us as stars.
Yes.
And just every night we came out, the pop was just like,
yo,
people going nuts all throughout the building. And it just changed the game for us. And ultimately it led to the tables match with the Dudleys. And then it led to the TLC stuff.
Damn. Like literal legends, y'all. Literal legends. It's like, also, okay, let me ask something else. Who is y'all favorite wrestlers, or like wrestlers that really inspire y'all?
The first guy that really got a hold of me was Macho Man Randy Savage. I thought the way he talked so crazy. He had these extravagant outfits, and his finisher was an elbow drop off the top rope. A lot of guys were like bigger guys. They did a lot of boring moves and stuff. Like he did like a real cool high flying move. So that was real cool to me, man.
From the 2 different roles, when I was a kid, man, Sting in NWA and then the Ultimate Warrior in WWF, that was for me. That's where the face paint came from today.
Yeah, y'all they swag.
Yeah.
Walking out the ring. Arm sleeves. The drip, like, oh my gosh.
This is cool that people are wrestling fans, man. I like seeing people mark out. But do you think Matt Hardy meant any harm, or was Rebby right to call him out publicly? So once again, like Rebby Sky, publicly fucking humiliating Matt Hardy a little bit. And we head on over here to Ringside News because we're going to have to watch a video that's in here. But Rebby took to Instagram during this Kai Cenat stream, and Matt Hardy responded to a question. So let me see here. According to her, the name Rebecca Hardy is one she never used in any personal or professional setting, and hearing it on the biggest stream in the world hit hard. So this is just like her trying to get clicks and views and shit, right? Like
Emotional damage.
She's not really upset by this unless she's like, wait a minute, my husband's never called me Rebecca. So she goes, Rebecca Hardy, who the fuck is that? Last night, my husband went on the biggest stream in the world with Kai Cenat and was asked how people could find me, a full-time content creator who makes her living online. And his response was to give a name I've never used professionally or personally. Yeah, maybe that's kind of weird. But I mean, I believe in keeping, if you have a problem with your wife, you guys should keep that between yourselves, not in the public eye. She says, I've had plenty of secret haters in my life, but for some reason, this one hurt the most because I've gone. So she's accusing him of being a secret hater because I've gone out of my way to promote this man and his brand, no matter how much of a clown I might look like doing it. What the fuck? That's your husband, man. I just don't know if this is a good look, especially when they have all these.
You what?
Whoo. Twitch used to be my everything. I started out as a streamer, and that's the whole reason I even have a TikTok account to promote my Twitch. So when the biggest streamer on the planet asked where his millions of followers could find me, and my husband gave a name that only he, the federal government, and Wikipedia use. Oh, so he uses it. He uses it, and so does the Mark that edits fucking Wikipedia. So what are you tripping? So this is definitely just for clicks, because it's like he was personal, man. He brought you up. This is my wife. He showed you the utmost respect. I felt slighted. I want to be clear. This isn't about followers or clout. It's about the one person I'd expect to go hard for me. I just want him to go as hard for me as I go for him. He took a fucking chair to he fell off a crane fighting Sammy Guevara and was unconscious and fucking stumble fucked around. Right? It's got split down the face with a fucking chair, has no hips, has no fucking kneecaps left, right? Or maybe he's all kneecaps. It's hard to tell. But she says, honestly, it might have been better if he said nothing at all. Nothing at all. Feels like you're wearing nothing at all. Because the way it came out feels like a very intentional slight. I did, and I said House. Okay, so Matt Hardy responds. He goes, yes, I did, and I said House Hardy, and House Hardy was pinned in Kai's chat for anyone to think I'm trying to slight my wife. It's insane. I went out of my way to acknowledge. Why are you guys talking about this online? I went out of my way to acknowledge and promote her 3 different times, and that was on top of a ton of things I was trying to promote for me, Jeff, and TNA. Exactly. So here's like a video she posted. I think
my wife streams a little bit.
Okay, really?
Rebecca Hardy.
Okay,
she does.
Rebecca Hardy. Shout out to you.
Who the fuck is that? Last night, my husband went on the biggest stream in the world and was asked how people could find me, a content creator full-time who makes her money on.
They're there to promote TN fucking A.
On the internet. And his response was to give a name that I have never gone by professionally or personally. Am I the asshole? I've had a lot of secret haters in my life, but
yes, you're an asshole.
For some reason, this one hurt the most, given how I have gone out of my way to promote this.
This is like sharing too much, This is like where the internet gets weird.
And his brand, regardless of how much of a fucking clown I look like in the process. For context, Twitch used to be my everything. I started off as a streamer. The whole reason why I have a TikTok account in the
used to be her everything. So does she still Twitch stream? Probably.
First place was to promote my Twitch. So when the biggest streamer on
I should have just played this. I read it all to you.
Twitch or shit on the planet asks where his millions of followers can find me specifically, and my husband.
See, this is true, but here's the problem, right? Kai Cenat fans. Sorry, I apologize if I'm butchering his name as well. They would come to your channel and be like, "You're a dumb bitch" and stuff, and not even because of this, because they're likely like the dude bros who fucking hate on like girl Twitch streamers and shit. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if you want them all coming over there. But he did plug her shit, which is crazy. And I mean, maybe they don't care. Like maybe her and her husband are like, nah, let it play out. Like it's just more clicks for us and our families. Like, then that's cool. If they have an agreement, like, nah, we'll heel and babyface on each other. Wear an Edge shirt. Fuck it. I'm confident in my relationship with you and our life. And we're just doing characters and shit online. I'm actually okay with that, but that's going so deep. Do you think they talked it all out, or do you think she's just one of these oversharers online? You know, usually the simplest, easiest answer is the truest, and that seems to be the simplest, easiest answer, right?
Husband's response is
whatever. We don't need to hear all this. You guys get the gist of it. We will share that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Banjo's in the chat for TNA News. Bam, 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 bam. Here we go. We got Joe. Yeah, see, it wasn't the main event. So we got some WWE news to get to. Dynamite's trending, and so is Tony Khan. So that's a good thing. We have Sickos as well. Here we go. See, this is the kind of match I'm into. Hobbs, Joe, Hangman, even Mox. At one point, dude, Mox was, when he first came into AEW, that shit was the truth, man. But again, Rhodes was there. And then there's just Garcia. Fuck! Claudio Mox Garcia. Just entirely deflates my energy and soul for this. Oh, God. Fuck. Fuck. George Capture for 5 says, check X. Tony Khan was live for 2 minutes before Dynamite. Was he really? You guys want to roast Tony? Let's do it. Let's call an audible here. We'll get into WWE news, but let's do a
The
little
best
pivot
guys,
here.
Tony Khan.
George, thank you so much. Let's acknowledge George Capture. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really, really appreciate that. Where's the acknowledgement?
Acknowledge me.
So I'm gonna look for this toot sweet here. I'll just look up Tony Khan's X. I'm sure you guys like tagged me on it. There's a, you type in Tony Khan. I don't mean to laugh at this, but I can't help it. You type in Tony Khan in the search on X, and the second thing that came up for me was an account called @TonyKhanCoke.
Oh, come on now, Eric.
Allegedly.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my God, yes. Yes. Let's go. Let's fucking, I'm liking and retweeting the shit out of this. Oh, dude, he's the best guy, man. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, yeah, we're taking a sidetrack. We're doing. Sorry, I would have done this in AEW news if I had known, chat. I got to watch out for these like Wednesday, like every Wednesday. I don't know if I bookmarked Wednesday either. Unfortunately, I'll search for that too. I'll make sure I did. This is so good. This is too good. Here, let me just find Ren Sinclair here quickly, because I'm sure it is Ren's Day, so I know she posted one. Oh yeah, I got it right here. Could I forget? Oh my gosh, look at how funny this is. Here, let me reshare this. The best guy. Okay, this is a segment, a new segment on the show called The Best Guys.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Okay, so here's 2 minutes of Tony Khan, ladies and gentlemen. And look at how he's dressed, man. Oh, I'm in my white tux. I wonder if this is his new gimmick. Do you think he wears this every show or he gives up on it? Well, you know, I love Time Cop. However, my second favorite film is James Bond, Casino Royale. It's a tremendous film. Oh my God, dude. This is absolutely phenomenal, dude. Tony Khan, he's confirming it here. The snowman! They call me the snowman on the streets. Dude, this is my Kingpin White. I run these streets, motherfucker. I'm not gonna take this shit. The Friday Night Wars? The Friday Night Gang Wars? Holy shit, man. I'm Vincent D'Onofrio in this bitch. Call me the Kingpin. Wilson Fisk, motherfucker. Trick or treat. This ain't a Halloween costume, bitch. We pulling up. Working hard for the yayo. Fucking Scarface, dude. Tony Yayo, man. Oh, shit. Holy fuck. It's too good to be true. This is too good to be true. I have to screen grab this shit. Oh my God. Thank you so much for making me aware of this, dude. Working hard for the yayo. Oh, dude. Oh, let's listen to this, okay? So let's check in with what the best guy had to say today in his best suit. For sure.
Hi. Tonight is going to...
I can't even play. Hi. I'm high. Say hello to my little friend. All you fucking haters and wackos. Tony Montana. Oh, shit.
Hi.
Oh, man.
Tonight is going to be an awesome night. Tonight, just minutes from now, we're going live on TBS and on HBO Max. Tonight, we're celebrating the 6-year anniversary of Wednesday Night Dynamite. And I just wanted to come on here and thank all of you. I'm very grateful to the fans who made this possible. I'm also very grateful to everybody who's worked in AEW, whether it's back.
What the fuck? Anybody who's ever worked here? You know, John Moxley, like the Young Bucks, anyone, you know, like Andrade. I mean, not him. Rita Chatterton. I mean, not her either. You weren't supposed to know that one. CM Punk. I mean, and the Acclaimed. Thanks for working here.
Very grateful to everybody who's worked in AEW, whether it's backstage, whether it's in Nashville in our production office, no matter where you work, in particular, the staff here and the pro wrestlers.
Sipping on a drink, sipping on a drink. I ain't trying to think. Word to the bird, I ain't never take her fur shopping, Montana. It's Tony Montana, dude.
AEW is where the best wrestle, and because of our great wrestlers and staff, we're celebrating the 6-year anniversary of Wednesday Night Dynamite just minutes from now. It's going to be an awesome, awesome night. We've got so much to look forward to. And we're also going to look back.
And I'm announcing the Casino Royale. I've got my Casino Royale jacket on because we're doing another Casino Gauntlet.
6 great years of AEW. I really appreciate you all.
I'm not gonna lie though, this is dripping. Like, he's drippy, dude. He can just buy a white tux. Like,
really appreciate our partners, TBS. We've been together for many, many years. Thank you for taking a chance at the very beginning on AEW. There's a great history of pro wrestling on TBS. It goes back to 1971. And thanks to all of you now, earlier this year, in our 6th year, AEW Dynamite
there's like a fucking AC on in that room, just
became the longest running primetime pro wrestling show ever on TNT or TBS. And we're going live just minutes from now. We're going to have an awesome 6-year anniversary special.
Then after being my Uncle Boss Hog, we're going to chase down those two. I can't even. It's so fucking. He's so cute, dude. This is the shit that makes you just love Tony Khan. You know.
At 8 p.m.
I was bitter the other day. I'm sorry, Tony. I want to be friends again.
Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, top of the hour. We're just moments away.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tone. Can we be friends again, Tone?
I really appreciate you all. Thank you for joining us for this 6-year anniversary special. You can watch it on TBS or stream it on HBO Max, or you can do both.
And we got this new pink cocaine. You can, you can shove it up your ass, or you can snort it up your nose, or you can do both. What the fuck, dude? Some sicko sitting there. Yeah, dude. Okay, boss. I'm gonna fucking put it on my TV on TBS and then put on HBO Max on my fucking phone or something and watch it on both. Why? Don't even say that. Or both. His eyes are real wide.
However you watch it, it's going to be an awesome night. I really appreciate it.
He puts on Andrade's black skull mask. Andrade! Olay!
You all. And I promise you, this is going to be a great show.
I promise you, I'll get that Daredevil. Hell's Kitchen is mine. And I promise you, the name's Khan. James Khan.
You don't want to miss it tonight.
Tonight. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. He points at the fucking camera. Tonight. The fucking, the beginning of GoldenEye. Where the fucking scope. Blah. Oh, shit, dude. That's so good, man.
Don't want to miss it tonight.
Oh my god, dude. And Daredevil, you better watch your back. Oh fuck. Dude, he's like Wilson Fisk. He's like fucking Tony Montana. It's just, there's so much going on here. It's great. He looks great. I love him. He's a cutie. Thumbs up. Just kidding. I'm a good guy. Oh, man. What a sweetheart. I love that so much. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I guess was a segment called The Best Guy.
Best Guy's Tony Khan.
This is great.
Oh, that was really good. Okay, and thank God it wasn't like 12 minutes. My word. My word, can that get to be a little much from time to time? I'm still here, folks. I'm just resharing this this tab here. Okay. So, chat, we were going to do WWE news. We'll mosey on over to WWE news here real quick. Okay, so almost 300 of you guys in here. Make sure everybody tunes in tomorrow night on this channel for the official Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week live show / podcast. It will be available wherever pods are listened to as well. Okay, so 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. YouTube.com / Pro Wrestle Clips, the official Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week show. Okay, make sure you guys check it out, and it'll be on X as well. So make sure you come on over. Okay, Thomas Moore for 2 says confirmed Tony Khan dabbles in China White. Dude, come on, how funny was that? I really love that, man. That was really good. Thank you for your support, Thomas Moore. And yeah, dude. It was also funny when Mariah May had all of the pink weapons during No Mercy, and then she throws like the cocaine, and I'm like, oh, Mariah May threw pink cocaine at Jordan Grace. I think that's fucking hilarious too. And then this just capped it off for me. There's too many bits there in that 2-minute little video. Spectacular. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into WWE news. But before we do, joining me on the show, Chris Jericho.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let it get wild. Yay!
I love you guys. That's why I do that. So, Israeli officials, and this is in the title of the show, that NXT TNA invasion is scrapped. Now, that really sucks. You know, I feel like we manifestation, the invasion thing. It was obviously coming, right? They're obviously 10 steps ahead of us. Or maybe they're listening to PWT Confirmed. But either way, the invasion name, and I guess it takes place on, people are pointing out, it's like October 7th was the invasion of like whatever. It's so distasteful and everything. It's like, yeah, and Saudi Arabia did the Riyadh Comedy Festival on October 7th, and Bill Burr headlined it. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fucked up shit going on. But just them on October 7th, I guess, holding this event called Invasion, you know, Israeli officials have expressed concern over WWE's name, noting that its date coincides with the anniversary of the 2023 Hamas attacks. And they believe the title is poorly chosen given the significance of the day. I mean, if AEW called their shit Invasion, no one would give a fuck. No one would say anything, bro. Not to make it about AEW, but it's like, dude, no one would say a goddamn thing. If this doesn't tell you how popular WWE is again, I mean, I don't know what the fuck else I can tell you.
I don't know.
Yeah, they don't want the name Invasion, and so WWE backed down. Now, I'm not going to say back down, because once it crosses that like political line type thing, I mean, yeah, it's just better to not, you know. So the show on October 7 is now being renamed Showdown, and I like that, you know, in WWE, man, the pay-per-view names mean something. Invasion meant invasion. Showdown, they quickly flipped it, and they're like, well, it's a showdown. It's not an invasion. It's a showdown between the two brands, right? Bad Blood, it's like, oh, me and Drew McIntyre want to beat the shit out of each other in a fucking Hell in a Cell and beat the blood out of each other. It's like Elimination Chamber, you call it that because there's going to be elimination chambers and shit, you know? And so I like that. Again, to make it about AEW a little bit, and I guess all wrestling companies, other than WCW, would do this as well, but when it comes to like Wrestle Dream, okay, what does that mean? It's just like a name. It's the dream of like Inoki's dream. I think Inoki would have open hand slapped the shit out of everybody in the wrestling world. I think he would have open hand slapped. That's a sign of respect. Sickos be like, but Inoki slapping you is a sign of respect, which it is. But listen, man, the point I'm getting at is like, what the fuck is Wrestle Dynasty? Okay, well, what does that mean? It's a dynasty of like wrestling shows. Okay, you know, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, because it's like, this is the event, right? So those sorts of things. That's why WrestlePalooza is kind of a dumb name. And I don't need pay-per-views called like Hell in a Cell and TLC right on the nose either. But just like the theme, it's thematic. Why? Because it's good for storytelling. And so with AEW here, WWE here and NXT and TNA, they quickly flipped it into like, well, it's a showdown, which I like. Just giving us that one or two lines of dialogue make us go, fucking A. Thank you for just giving us a reason for the name switch, even in kayfabe, if you will. You appreciate that, right? As someone who watches this shit all the time, and you're watching it all the time every week, right? You need things like that. So the teams for NXT versus TNA have been announced. NXT men's team is Ricky Saints, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Miles Bourne. The women's is JC Jane, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, and Lola Vice. And then on the TNA side, you have Mike Santana, Moose, Frankie Kazarian, Leon Slater. And then for the women's, you have Kalani Jordan, The Inspiration, and Mara Sade. And Kalani, she's like, no, I'm holding it down for TNA and shit. It's really cool, man. It's just cool to see. We were wondering, like, who's going to defect. Once this shit all went down, I put out the joke tweet, like, okay, what side are Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry really on? And then they're talking about that on TV, right? So I love that. I just popped for that. I'm like, fuck yeah. Because, like, Joe, you don't know what side Jordan Grace is on. And, you know, Trick is on the NXT side, even though he's a TNA champion. But then Kalani is like, nope. I'm like hanging out with Santana and shit. Crazy. And then in the sicko segment tonight, we'll get into it a little bit, how some of these sickos are like, man, this is crazy. And I talked about this with Alfred Konowa a little bit on PWT Pod 100, but we talked about, like, man, these are all ex-WWE people. Is that kind of shitty? Is that kind of fucked up? And it is in a way, if you're looking at, like, I mean, should it all just be Leon Slater and all of, like, everybody that TNA is building up and stuff? Yeah, but, like, if Leon Slater wanted to, he could parlay this into something way bigger elsewhere in 3 years when he's done with TNA. He's not locked in with WWE or anything. So, yes, there's a level of, like, okay, Kalani Jordan brings more eyeballs. Mara Sade worked here, worked our system, knows how our building and how to work our fucking cameras and what we expect, etc. You know what I mean? Like that. Mike Santana. Okay, Mike Santana isn't locked in for WWE. They fucking want him. I'm sure he's close to. I don't know when his deal's up. I think he just signed with TNA not long ago. So it's like they're giving him tons of TV time. Could he turn around and be like, "Hey, AEW, what's up? I'll come back there, but I want this and this." Is he going to do that? I don't think so. But it's like he could do that. They have to be careful of who they just team up with Javon Evans. They just team Slater up with Javon Evans, and those guys fucking rule as a tag team. It was like, I don't know if you guys watched NXT, but it was awesome. So like Slater, fucking, you got to be careful with the guys you're like giving this TV time to and giving this platform to, but at the same time, I thought they want to help them. Well, Moose is standing there. Kazarian, like Moose isn't gonna go turn around and get a job with AEW. They're not gonna offer him more than they wouldn't have before, right? Kazarian's done everything. He left AEW. Tony Khan doesn't really like Moose, I don't think. Okay, so it's like those guys, yeah, of course, and they're there in the background. All the TNA guys are out there. Right. When you have a Mance Warner, though, you can't give him all the fucking TV time. Like he's still coming up. You know, he's still a guy who could have a TNA world title run in him or would be believable on like a SmackDown or a Raw even. I know he's not at that level yet, but he could be like that gimmick he does where like I'm kind of just like Manser just shows up, fights, drinks a beer and goes home, pets his cats, that sort of thing. Like they tell me where the fight is, Manser shows up and fights. Like that whole fucking thing, it just works, you know, and it works for him, his look and everything. You can't fucking just like give him all your TV time, dude. You can't fucking do that. They can levy that shit against you in the future. So that's why Cardona's there. Because Cardona's only going to get, like, he's as big as he'll ever get unless he goes back and has a world title run with Rhodes, and that's all in WWE's control. And they don't have interest in doing that with him right now, and I hope they do. Hopefully his time in NXT, and they're using him more and more in NXT, hopefully Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona shows up in the fucking Rumble this year, and he gets called up to the main roster. I would watch it, you know? But again, the main roster is bloated and shit, and he's really like a key part of this. So for people saying like WWE completely took advantage, wait till they get their TV deal. You guys are just melting down because what were they supposed? This is what the partnership is. Here's some faces people recognize. Here's some faces that people recognize from our show that are now on your fucking show, and we're going to reintroduce them as people on your show, and we're going to help get you a fucking TV deal. And there's a clause where in 60 days, these guys can split their fucking partnership up And TNA could just be like, fuck WWE once they get their TV deal, for all we know. For all we know, dude, they could start putting up crazy ratings and being like, yeah, fuck WWE. So I wouldn't melt down too much about this. And you see the TNA guys all there. Who's not there that should be there? You know? So moving along here. Here is, this place seems familiar. Look at the setup. Like, look at how they had the NXT zone looking. What do you call it? The Impact Zone in NXT. It was just set up so cool. Like half the arena's TNA. It's so cool. It's so fucking trippy. It's just such a trippy thing to like have exist. It's so cool. I mark out so hard for this shit. And speaking of NXT, well, we might have more NXT TNA news. I think a little bit. Yeah, so here's the card for Showdown thus far. WWE has filed to trademark Showdown, of course. And the logo's pretty cool. And I said it, like I tweeted out, because like, you know, that's what Twitter's for. Brain farts, just putting out like instant reactions. That's what it's all there for, right? And so the name changed from Invasion. I'm like, that's fucking lame. And then they're like, it's called Showdown. I'm like, that's fucking lame. And then you see the logo and you're like, they kept it the same font. That's actually pretty cool. And then the way they just gave me that couple of lines of dialogue, and you're just like, okay, it would be cool if they maybe put like a TNA logo on the other side of the W, though, like NXT Showdown. It'd be cool if they were like NXT TNA Showdown. But I think that comes with whole other, I'm sure there's like payments and shit that would have to go down with that situation, you know, to make that happen. So I digress. It's going to be awesome. And I'm here for it, Eric. And we're going to watch it. I'm going to pop on the live and we're going to watch that shit because we've been waiting for this one. So far, we have Mustafa Ali versus Ethan Page for the North American title. And again, it would be cool if like more of these were merging belts and shit. Like this might be the time that Dr. Wagner Jr. kind of gets involved, but this is like Mustafa Ali's story to tell. Okay. Think about it. He was the North American champion. He started this whole new gimmick. Dom wins the title from him. He leaves the company abruptly. He keeps doing the same gimmick all over the indies through TNA. He goes undefeated. I think New Japan hit him up. Hey, do you want to be in the Super Juniors? And he's like, yeah, but I have to go undefeated. And they're like, what? Or they're like, do you want to do the G1 or whatever the fuck? And he's like, yep, but I have to go undefeated because it's the story I'm telling. And they're just like, nah, dude. And then he eventually gives the undefeated streak, I think, to Mike Bailey in TNA in Montreal, which was a fucking flop. And they did that because that's Scott D'Amore's boy. And then Scott D'Amore left. And then Bailey left. And then Bailey went to fucking AEW. So it was fucking wasted. I'm not going to lie. That really pissed me off, and TNA fucked that up. But that was the old management. It's all good, I guess. But Ali, dude, he's that dude, and he carries the same gimmick and an extension of his same gimmick from NXT all the way back to NXT to reclaim what? His North American title at Showdown against Page? God damn it. I'm fucking into this. And I'm a Mustafa Ali mark. You guys know that. I was like bringing highlights of his matches from the indies to the show, trying to push guys I like, you know. Now, Mustafa wanted to be more, Mustafa Ali, sorry if I'm butchering his name, but he wanted to be more than like just the cruiserweight guy or whatever. And he was slated for that Kofi Kingston push or whatever, wasn't he, during that gauntlet match? So, and then he got injured. And I'm one of these guys where I love the cruiserweight division shit. And I'm one of these guys where, yeah, I thought he was like the man. It was like him and Enzo and Neville. I was like, and Austin Aries was there for a minute. And you're sitting there like, okay, dude, this cruiserweight division is what it should be. Like, I get it. Austin Aries is a world champion in TNA. Okay. But in WWE, man, like, if just all giant guys disappeared, like no more Roman Reigns size guys even. Okay, then. All right, let's see him be world champion. But that's not the case. You know, so you guys developed this cruiserweight division, and they weren't able to do that because of Vince, I would say mostly. But And their matches were, the story wasn't that great because Vince was spread so thin. And so it was just basically like, look at these flippy matches. And everybody should have looked to 205 Live. Well, nobody knew Tony Khan would be like Vince. He'd be a Tony McCon. Tony McContana. And so I don't think people thought Tony would be like so shitty at creative and stuff. But I just say, sorry to be so harsh, cutie pie. Love you, Tone. But 205 Live was sort of like the warning of what would happen to AEW, I think. Like making people sit through these shows after SmackDowns and before SmackDowns and shit. I just don't know if that was the right move. Anyways, I'm spending so much time on Mustafa Ali and Ethan Page. Why? Because I fucking love Mustafa Ali. I like Ethan Page as well. You guys know that. So winner takes all, Dark State versus the Hardys, TNA titles versus NXT titles. I say give the titles to the Hardys, man. And if you guys remember back in the WWE WWF invasion, ECW invasion, I don't think the ECW tag titles or any of their titles were really prominent in that invasion storyline. ECW just sort of bowed down and were like, we're the alliance with WCW, and it was the WCW belts. And again, because Vince didn't want to fucking overload people's brains with these titles and shit. But the Hardys, I think, won the WCW tag titles as well. At one point, like they've had them all. They were WCW tag champs, WWE tag champs. They didn't get the AEW ones, which I don't know if that means too terribly much. But, TNA, they had the Expedition of Gold that culminated with them. They held all these fucking indie titles, right? And the ROH tag titles and shit. Then they show up at Mania, win the Raw tag titles in that ladder match at Mania. Like that was the story they were telling on the indies. I think you got to just give it to them. They have to hold these NXT tag titles one time. It doesn't hurt Dark State. They're so young. Their crew's kind of getting over. Like some of these guys can cut promos, but it's kind of lame at the same time. Like I don't think anybody's like clamoring, oh, Dark State. Like no one really gives a shit. I could see Dark State winning them, though, because they've done TNA spots already. And they're like these young guys you're trying to build up. But at the same time, the way I'm looking at it here, and I'm not saying, yeah, the Hardys should show up and win the WWE tag titles next week. I'm not saying that, but they should fucking have a miniature NXT title run here with both sets of belts. Again, going into this TV deal, it only helps TNA, and then they're on NXT, boost their ratings some more, likely. And then they get inducted into the Hall of Fame this year and shit like that, It's not like they have to run with the titles all the way till Stand and Deliver, but like just kind of give everybody that refresher. They showed the Hardys on screen, I think, at the last PLE or the one before. So why not just give the Hardys this little NXT run? Dark State could even win it back from them or a different team. And it was quite interesting too because Obafemi wasn't there. So you got to think like he has no part in this invasion. He's got to be getting called up. So there you see the 4-on-4 women's match. NXT through and through, and then you have TNA, which, let's face it, man, the Iconics as well. People like, oh, they're ex-WWE. Let's face it, man. They left. They went to Impact, won the Knockouts titles, stopped wrestling, came back, will be the Knockouts champions again sooner or later. And, like, they're TNA through and through. They didn't fucking go back to NXT. They came back to TNA again. And are TNA through and through. So I'll just say that. And Mara Sade, I love her look, her vibe. She's doing these indies and she's working TNA, and she's someone I think they're going to try and run with for the future. And again, they want this to be the best show, the most eyeballs. I'm not mad at them releasing Mara Sade and then TNA picking her up independently of that. And then WWE going, well, fuck yeah, they worked on our TV. She knows how we do things here. This will be perfect. She would be mad. Think about her character. Would she not be mad and have a bit of a vendetta against WWE a little bit? After them casting her to the side, she has something to prove. It makes sense in kayfabe. And then you have the men's showdown 4-on-4. So Slater, Santana, Kazarian, Moose. Again, it doesn't get more TNA than that. All these guys are TNA through and through. It doesn't get more TNA than Kazarian Moose is the most TNA guy ever. Santana, who's completely reinvented himself. Slater, who they're developing. And then Kazarian, who's a legend. So again, you have a TNA legend in Kazarian. You have a fucking Moose who's like there for lifer. You have Santana who left AEW and reinvented himself in TNA after being a tag guy there years before. And then you have Slater, a guy that they're developing from the ground up. TNA through and through. His dream was to be in TNA. Boom. That's the most TNA shit ever. That ain't like having the team WCW with like Kurt Angle or whoever on it, right? Like whoever defects, you know. It's just silly that people complain about this shit. Then you have Ricky Saints, who's the NXT champion. Trick, who's an NXT champion, but is the TNA champion right now. Miles Bourne and Javon Evans, the two future stars. Like those are the future faces of NXT right there. When Saints and Trick and Oba and Ethan Page are all on the main roster, Javon and Miles are going to be those guys holding those belts you're looking at right there. You know what I mean? So I love this. I'm all about this. We rowdy and we bowdy, as Conan would say, right? And I'm marking out. I'm Phil marksing out about all of this fucking shit right here. And I'm so down. I can't wait for Tuesday.
Conan!
I think we have some more TNA news here. So it's been 1 year officially. Sorry, NXT news, NXTNA, we'll call it. Thank you, NXT fans. CW Sports thanks them. Thank you for making the first year of NXT on the CW an amazing one. We're just getting started. And I was talking with Alfred a little bit off air, dude, Alfred Konowa, and he was like, man, the CW's so fucking over the moon happy with like NXT and them doing shit with TNA and everything. So they're like, we're just getting started. I think it's 1 year of NXT on the CW. What a success.
Shout out to the CW network. NXT has been on the CW network for an entire year. I want to say thank you to all the fans who've been watching us over the whole past last year.
We love giving you a show.
Thank you guys for all the support.
We will always give you the best.
Make it move. We all love you. Keep watching, and we will keep doing our thing.
I was on the air with my buddy JJ and Maddie earlier over on the Full Circle Network. And JJ was just burying the shit out of NXT, man, and burying Oba Femi and shit. And I was like, I don't know, man. I fucking like it, but I don't know. He ain't rowdy. Orale mi raza, you know what I mean? So moving along here, I think we might have a little bit more of NXT TNA news. Just a quick, yes. So here, you just see the parking lot. It was just overloaded with TNA folk.
They don't know, but they gonna find out. Hey, we're about to take this right over. You know this? We're about to take this right over.
And Moose is one of these guys too. Like after this invasion shit, if they are like, okay, Moose, look, go to WWE. Your time with us is up. There's an opening. We'll take you. They put him on the main roster for sure. He wouldn't do time in NXT. He'd just like show up at the Rumble, be on SmackDown or some shit. Show up at the Raw after Mania as like maybe they play vignettes. It'd be smarter to play vignettes for Moose. I think that'd be the way to do it. Like Moose coming in like 3 weeks or whatever.
Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go, baby. You gotta cut him. You gonna cut him. We're gonna get him. Moose,
Mance is like if Ernest, do you guys know Ernest? Like from the Ernest movies? It's like if he was like a fucking badass beer swigging, ass kicker from the streets type thing, man. It's such a good gimmick and such a good look, for pro wrestling. It gives you like Briscoe brother vibes, kind of. So this isn't over. Here's them storming out.
Ridiculous!
Who do they think they are? This is harder. This is not over.
And the brawl at the end, like if you're not going to watch all of NXT, just watch the start of the show, then go to the end and watch where they pick the teams and the brawl that breaks out. and the way they go off air, so good. And then HBK, he comes out and he's like smiling at all the carnage. The way that the commentary and the staff are playing it, they're like fucking, oh man, it's just little subtle things. I rewound and watched because I wanted to watch different people, what they were doing and who was selling for who. I sort of mark out over stuff like that. Like, okay, who do they have selling for who in this? And you can tell like they were like, okay, at some point, like Ethan has got to get his, like he's just trading blows with Santana or whatever the fuck. They're just trading blows in the middle and da-da-da. It was fucking awesome, man. They're just brawling all over the place. Everybody, you could tell like certain people knew who they were supposed to fight for a little while to kind of convey like, oh, they're mad at each other. But then it kind of just devolved into everybody just fucking scrapping all over the place, throwing shit at each other, whipping each other with stuff. And man, it was so good. The ending to NXT is worth just, if you can find it on Twitter, just watch the end or whatever.
Listen. I'm gonna get this. Yeah. This is some BS. I have no clue how I got pulled into a bunch of crap that I don't give a damn about.
Ethan Page could fucking defect to TNA as well. He's like, I don't give a crap about any of this. That's his stance on this whole time. So I don't know, a little fantasy Phil bookmarking here. Mark booking here, whatever you want to fucking say. He could totally defect. He says, I don't care. So he could just like go to TNA at some point as NXT. You could like win the NXT title, like side with TNA to get it or something. I don't know. It's all interesting.
But if I'll be damned,
I just want to see him on the main roster though as well. If they called him up tomorrow, I wouldn't be like, oh no, but he's perfect for the invasion. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be like, yes, go Ethan.
if people are gonna come into my house that I've been carrying on my freaking back for the last year and a half and try and take off my plate. I've been hungry for my whole career, and I've been eating good. Nobody's taking food from me, baby.
This is our home! Bye, TNA!
And they had, at one point, I think they were all in the parking lot, and they had crazy-ass Thea Hale and crazy-ass Alicia Fox, Vix Crow, folks. They were fucking yelling, like both like crazy-ass yelling in each other's faces. So good. So good. So let's see if there was any other TNA NXT stuff. I believe that is all. We'll get into main roster stuff here now. Samoa Joe's cutting and strutting. Let's just take a listen for a second here. So like Joe and Hangman, they're going to give us that match, but Joe will lose to Hangman, but they're kind of buddies. And it's like, shit, Joe should be your world champion. Damn. And you have Joe, speaking of Joe Hendry and Jordan Grace, exactly, as I pointed out on PWT, and now they brought it to their show, NXT listening to PWT,
Sometimes
confirmed.
in life, you gotta be a hoe.
But, yeah, they that's like a plot point. Like, what are Joe and Jordan gonna do? So it's so cool, dude. I'm marking out hard for it. Yeah, so Hangman's gonna beat Joe. That's just obvious. Because Tony's listening to PWT too. Because we're dating now. I don't know if you guys heard. He's a total cutie, right? We got in a fight last week, but we're all good now, right? And so TK was like, the best guys, Phil Marks. And so he's like, we're going to give him Joe versus Hangman because he's been asking for Joe every week, but not like this, though, you know? Not like this. Okay, let's get into this main roster news here. So John Cena's retirement match to headline WWE Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C. And it's, on an SNME. I'm looking forward to it. However, it's so fucking sad. And look at this like poster that they got for it. The last real champion won last time. He shouldn't have fucking dropped the title. He shouldn't have dropped the title if they're gonna, this is how they're gonna promote it. You know, he should have, it just completely undermines Cody Rhodes, and he should have held the title and then had someone beat him. He could have even turned babyface, but he should have held it and then had whoever his last opponent was beat him for the belt or whatever. I think that would have been more impactful, but he is the GOAT. I'm not going to cry about it or think too much about this. I'm just like, holy fuck. I watched his first ever match. I remember where I was sitting, what I was doing, what I was eating against Kurt Angle, you know, the first WWE match. And this is about to be his last one. And we'll see John Cena in some form or fashion on WWE TV. I bet he'll end up being like the commissioner of WWE or one day or something, right? He'll be in a suit. He'll just come out when they need him. But it's he's a lot of people's childhood favorites, and love him or hate him, dude, it's his last one, so just enjoy it. And it's not like a Goldberg last one. Like, Cena's gonna take off after this. And holy fuck is he good in Peacemaker, man. I can't wait for that shit tomorrow. What is there, like 2-3 episodes left? 2 episodes left? God damn it, what a good fucking show. Holy shit. Sorry. So I'm excited for this. Yes, what, 4 appearances? So he'll maybe wrestle AJ and then 2 appearances to build up for this match, and then he's done. I mean, as we go on, we remember all the times we had together. So CM Punk was a part of a Chicago Cubs playoff hype video.
Out of the dark and into the light. Chicago doesn't come to play. We come to fight.
You're a poet and didn't know it.
You see, this city, this team is way too hungry to give up this dream. This is going to leave the yard. We got big shoulders. We bleed Cub blue.
Sammy drives one. I don't believe it. Unbelievable atmosphere.
We needed the money. Oh.
Cubs win. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. We give everything we got to fly the W.
Get out the tape measure.
We'll take the heat and turn it up hotter. We'll take the punches and swing back harder. We'll trade blows until there's only one king. And at the final bell, we'll own the ring.
Mary Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet.
This postseason, we bring the fight.
Pretty fucking sweet promo. Getting me all hyped up. Speaking of hyped up, Bully Ray had this to say, and I should have played this during miscellaneous news, I guess, but former WWE superstar Jasmine Nix, you know, she's kind of clowning on pro wrestling, and there seems to be like a sentiment among people that like her and her boyfriend just never really took it seriously and kind of goof on it, and she's just going to go be an IRL streamer or whatever. I covered it earlier, but here's Bully Ray's take on the situation.
If Jasmine Nix would have trained at a wrestling school, wrestling would have been her passion and her dream. She most likely would have stayed put and grinded it out. There's one thing about wrestlers, they will accept the grind to chase the dream. But when you get pulled in from...
Unless you're bruv, then we don't chase the dream, bruv. We don't embrace the grind, bruv. No, shout out Ospreay. Hopefully he's making a speedy recovery.
Soccer, MMA, football, whatever. It's not the same. You don't have that burning sensation in you, that burning passion, like a Stephanie Vicaire who told me that wrestling was her nourishment when she didn't have enough food to eat.
Fuck, man. And that's why she is where she is. Oh, she picked WWE instead of Tony Khan. Wrestling was her nourishment when she didn't have enough to eat. That's the grind, bro. Vaquer embraces the grind.
That doesn't burn in Jasmine Nix. It's not that same mental state, not that same pit of your stomach grind where you need to do it, you need to make it. If Jasmine,
and there's nothing wrong with that either. I want to just say, like, people shouldn't attack Jasmine Nix because of that. Just because you liked her on TV, now you're going to hate her because she doesn't. There's nothing wrong with that either. However, it for them with their resources, it does seem like a bit of a waste of time. I get that. And Bully's back there, so he sees her. He sees her at the PC and shit. He knows what the fuck's going on. Mark Henry knows what's going on and shit, right? But this is the risk you run, though. Like, the NIL and WWE ID is great. It's great. And we all praise it for, they're finding Tiffany Strattons, essentially, and these sort of athletes. But with all of those folks, there comes a lot of shitheads and dickheads and people who are athletic or look good and get thrown into the business and get trained. Like, there's going to be more dickheads who slip through the cracks as well, or just people who might not give a fuck about it, which isn't always a bad thing. But I'm just saying, like, they're saying, oh, we're letting whoever in. Exactly. If you're athletic enough, you can get a shot now. And unfortunately, that's going to lead to people who look at it as just like, well, because that happens in MMA, man. There's guys who like played football and they're like, oh, I'll just fight in the heavyweight division. And you can get 4 wins in the UFC. Like, it's fucking because you're athletic. Like, that's the state of their division. It's kind of shitty, because the quality of fighters kind of gone down. And like in the mid to lower parts, whereas like the tippy top in the heavyweight divisions, like really fucking good guys, but just below them and like the top fucking 10 and below, even the top like 6 and below in the UFC, even in heavyweight, are like, if you're like a college basketball player, you could walk on and who've done some jiu-jitsu for a year, you could probably beat some of these guys, So unfortunately, you're going to get some of these guys who like, football is really what I want to do, but I'll get into wrestling, and then they never really fall in love with it. And now people find more ways to make money online. You're going to have to fucking deal with especially good-looking women being like, fuck this. I'll just take lewd pics and stream on Twitch or whatever, It's you got to have that burning desire. And there's nothing wrong if you don't either. We shouldn't shame that. But the door's being open to that more and more, the more they expand and have their fingerprints on everything, right? Moving along here. So Randy Orton, speaking of streamers, we saw the Hardy Boys with Kai Cenat, and Randy Orton and iShowSpeed met up here on a stream. What is that, Cody Rhodes tour bus?
Congrats.
So we walks the green carpet.
We good?
And then he sees Randy, I think, yeah.
What's up, man?
RKO him.
You good, man?
Sheamus is there too.
You pulling up, man.
Oh, and there's Drew McIntyre as well.
Thank you for pulling up. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. I guess we'll do a little something in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah. You ready for that?
I am.
Yeah, of course, bro. Let's do it, man.
Hey, thank you for not actually RKOing me just
now. Oh, no.
Even though you owe me one.
Hey, you did a lot of you did a lot of shit to me. I should have just did it.
I didn't Braun Breaker you.
You're right.
You owe that motherfucker.
Yeah, you're right. I will. Let's go, Randy. Good to see you. Good to see you too.
And then he just doesn't say shit to Drew or Sheamus.
Thank you, man.
That's fucked. The disregoddamn spect of these kids. How dare you?
You what?
Just completely disregards Drew, who's in Highlander, for fuck's sakes. Stephanie Vaquer, who we spoke about earlier, she shows off her new tattoo. And there you go, a little goat. The Illuminati. It's an Illuminati tattoo. She's officially in the club. They drank her blood. It's actually a clone of Stephanie. They crossed her with Spider-Woman. And she's actually going to give birth to the Antichrist. No. That's a fucking sweet tat. Okay, so WWE Super Show Australia has 10,000 tickets sold. It's set up for 12,000. I don't know what the building holds. In Melbourne, does 12,000 or like 11,000, does that seem a little light for a super show? I guess it's not televised though, is it? I don't know. Maybe a little light, but also, yeah, I mean, some companies would cut an arm off for 12,000 folks. So there you go. I like looking at the tickets sales again. It's more interesting than the fucking TV viewership because that's just such a convoluted conversation at this point, unless we're roasting Dave every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week. New podcast and live show on this channel and on X. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon meet with U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House and wherever podcasts are listened to. So again, Triple H is a great guy. He's amazing. And someone pointed out that everyone in this picture essentially has taken a Stone Cold Stunner, which is a fucking brilliant. That's like a Trivial Pursuit question. Stone Cold just storms in. What? Just stunners all these motherfuckers. But yeah, Triple H and Stephanie were there meeting with Donald Trump again for I don't know what, but it was just in the news. I guess I could click on nodq.com. Where U.S. President Donald Trump signed executive orders. Stephanie addressed reporters about an order involving the use of AI to improve childhood cancer treatments, highlighting WWE's connection to Connor Mikulik, a young fan who battled cancer. Yeah. Crusher Connor, dude. That kid fucking rules. So they're going to use AI to help fix. I mean, like, okay, if AI cures diseases and shit or whatever, like, I'm all about that. We bowdy. I need to get that on the soundboard. Someone Gmail me, okay? Send me Conan saying that. But yeah, I mean, that's cool. That's interesting that they're like taking part in that. I'm all about like getting rid of cancer in kids and shit, man. You can't get me to hate on that. I don't give a fuck who's there unless it's like we're testing it on kids and those kids are dying and then other kids or something, you know, like. But Freddie Prinze Jr. had this to say about WWE. Now, he won't bite his tongue. He's not overly controversial. I love Freddie Prinze. I fucking hate what they did to his character, Ray. And I know what you did last summer, 2025. We have beef over that. But, you know, he said he's going to start his own Fed. And I keep bringing it up every like few months on the show. Like, when's Freddie Prinze dropping his Fed? When's he doing his Fed? When's he doing his Fed? He said when Bray Wyatt and Cross were out there, he could hire them and do a Fed centered around them and shit. He's like, it won't be at a grand scale, but it'll be different, unique, and I'll sink money into it and shit. And he agreed, like, I'm going to do this movie, that movie, this movie, that movie, and then I think I can afford to do this. Well, he's done all those shits now. I think I Know What You Did Last Summer was like the thing that he, you know, I think he's been approached with doing that shit in the past and he's turned it down and then he fucking did it to make this extra bit of money. Now, who knows? Is he actually going to start a wrestling fed? I don't know if the landscape is right anymore. But I'm not encouraging him to do it. Like, what if him and like Billy Corgan teamed up and just like did something crazy or reinvigorated NWA or something? I don't know, man. I'm just throwing ideas out there. But he had this criticism or claim about WWE pairing writers with wrestlers by their ethnicity. Okay, which isn't always a bad thing. Okay. For instance, like a lot of people who write scripts, if there's like a black character or something in their script, they might go to a black friend and be like, hey man, can you write this how like a black dude would say that, you know, I can't fake the funk here. You know, people have done that since the beginning of time and shit. So it's not always a bad thing. But at the same time, it's like if that's all you do, that could be a bad thing. I actually didn't read ahead on this, so I don't know what Freddie is claiming here, but I'm going to Wrestling with Freddie. He shared a memory and of course, this is probably back when he was working there as well, under Vince Pal. So I assume things have changed very much for the better all these years later, right? Like this is a long time since he's been there. I'm just assuming he's sharing old Vince stories. So He said his claim that WWE used to assign writers to wrestlers based on ethnicity. Prinz was discussing Rey Mysterio's aura when he brought up how he was given the masked legend to write for. And Freddie Prinz, there you go, with Rey. I mean, so Freddie says, when I worked at WWE back in the day, they were like, well, you speak Spanish, so you're working with Rey. Well, that might be a good thing, though, you know, like if Stephanie's there, Vaquer, right, and her first language is Spanish, someone who speaks Spanish might be good to have back there to fucking. But let's hear what his criticism is, or if this is just like ringside news trying to blow it out of proportion before we get too worked up. But he says, when I worked in WWE back in the day, they're like, you speak on Espanol, so you're working with Rey. That's kind of how the writers got assigned to people. It was like, if you're black, you write for the black people. If you're black, you write for the black. That felt uncomfortable saying it that way, dude. If you're Spanish, I'm just quoting Freddie Prinz here, okay, guys? I'm not. If you're Spanish, they didn't know I was Puerto Rican. They were like, you're Mexican, go work with Rey. Oh no, dude. It's such a Dave Meltzer. Well, she's not even Mexican, Brian. How dare she be on fucking Triple
idiot.
A? Yeah, that's fucked if they said that to him. Like, well, you're Mexican, pal. Get over there and speak Mexican to him. Right? Well, you speak Mexican, pal. That's how Vince said it. Vince, it's Spanish. I don't give a fuck. What? You're high. Yeah, an interesting story, no less. I'm sure that's definitely changed over time here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was WWE. I mean, there's some times where that's the way to go, but definitely not in the way Vince had it going down there. There's a whole lot of things going down. Okay, let's we have some sickos we're gonna roast in our main event of the goddamn evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll jump to it in a second. We're still watching Dynamite here a little bit, right? And guys, we'll pull this up. So patreon.com/prowrestletimes, and also if you guys don't mind coming and hanging out with me Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, live on YouTube, and of course everywhere podcasts stream and all of that good stuff. Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week is an official show, ladies and gentlemen. And we still make fun of Dave here on the live shows. It's impossible not to, right? He pops up in every segment you do, in every little nook and cranny you talk about wrestling. He pops up in some capacity. But the segments were getting long, and I decided, you know what, fuck it. We innovated roasting Dave once. Let's do it again. Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week, every Thursday on YouTube and X and wherever podcasts are. Make sure you guys check that out. Let me check in with chat here. And that starts tomorrow, guys. So you don't want to miss that. Arthur Jennings for 10 says, hey, Phil, Melbourne Super Show is at the same place that Australian Tennis Open is played. 14 point, I fucking suck at accents, dude. 14.2K capacity. Then there's floor seats and a concert. Cost me and me mates around 1,160 Australian for 2 average tickets. Oh, God damn, dude. Melbourne. Come on down. Thank you for the super chat. I mean, you're paying a pretty penny. However, is it worth it? Like, they don't go there all the time, and it's like Super Show, Crown Jewel, Elimination Chamber. Like, when they go to Australia, they come with the heat, dude. So it's worth it, right? Like, if people are buying the fucking tickets, I can't sit here and be like, they shouldn't do that. Yeah, I can sit here and be like, dude, they're like gouging. People can't afford this shit, right? But again, it's just supply and demand, right? Like, I don't sit here and cry all day because there's Nikes that some of them are $300 or whatever. Like, It just is what it is, man. If people are gonna buy them, yeah, I'm sure that hit the wallet a little bit. You're like, fuck, a little bit. Everybody feels that a little bit. You're like, oh shit, But hopefully you have a good time. I'm sure it'll be like a memory you always fucking cherish, though, dude. You're gonna be like, this fucking ruled. I remember this, that, da da da. This match was fucking awesome. I don't know what's all on the card, but it's just like, you're paying for this experience and it's not. And if people want to go like, well, AEW's cheaper. Okay, that doesn't make it better, though. Doesn't mean you're gonna go like, are you gonna get a $200 experience versus a $2,000 experience? That's a big difference. So is this the final match? Like they're gonna ride the extra 30 minutes is just like we're gonna start this match 15 after, so they can go. We'll do 30 minutes with an overrun and basically just add a third hour and see how it does. So we can just get rid of Collision and add a third hour. Oh, is that what's happening? Not in this economy. Yeah, a dingo ate me, Darby. Yeah, so they're going to overrun. So it goes for an extra half hour. Then they'll do like a 15 minute overrun. So that's like 45 minutes. So he's just like testing an extra hour. I've told you guys, we're going to see more and more of this. Phil, don't fucking miss, man. Okay? I know these fucking redacts with fucking 6-7 Twitter accounts all obsessed with me talking shit. Phil, don't fucking miss. That's why. Okay? These fucking robots are beep, boop, beeping out. These fucking NPCs out here are dying for attention. They're dying over here. Hate us because they ain't us, dude. Okay? I told you. They're going to start doing this. Collision's going to go bye, 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 baby. Bye, 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 bye.
Hey. Let's just be fair. We got a couple haters.
I'm telling you, man. They're just adding that third hour on the Dynamite. It's coming sooner or later. Tony Khan in his white coat. Fuck, that was awesome. That ruled so hard. Chris diving on these guys. It's crazy we had to have Garcia and Yuta on this shit. They're really insistent on pushing those dudes, man. Yeah, you guys are right. It'll end with Jurassic Express. Sorry, I'm just hydrating and shit. I'm just chugging down some fucking liquids. Pause. They're going to come out with Jurassic Express is good. They're going to end the show with like the whoa, 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 Jurassic Express is already come. I know, but they want to end it with the oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That's what I think. I could just see them because they're drawing lines in the sand, blood and guts, right? Hey guys, what happened? Yeah, I don't know. I think just my internet shit out. I'm not gonna lie. I think that might have just been on me. I'm here though. Don't worry. We got this shit right here on lock and key. Hopefully the X feed didn't cut out or whatever. But we're gonna continue this goddamn thing. Okay, we are going to go to the sicko segment here. Hopefully you guys can hear me and everything. So yeah, I think the X feed probably went out. Sorry about this. Sickos were like, damn, dude, don't make fun of us tonight. We're desperate. No, I think it was legit my internet. It was like everything blinked out for a sec. I do smell rain coming in through the so maybe it's storming or something. Oh shit. Okay, so I have to check X now. If my show just abruptly ended, I'm gonna direct everybody over to I think it did. I think it may have. Oh no, incredibly unfortunate. It says it's live now, so maybe it's back. I don't know. I'm just not seeing the numbers for the people who are watching on X. It is not appearing. I will make a tweet quickly, and then we'll do this. This is our last segment anyways. My word. Jesus Christ, what an ending, right? So here, I'm just going to put this out there. If you don't see feed cutout, if you don't see the show on X, come to YouTube. Here we go. Sorry, guys. I thought it was just StreamYard at first, and then I was like, oh, no, it looks like everything's shitting out for a sec. Okay, so that was fun. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get some pukey emojis in the chat? Okay. Here we go. Now I'm seeing the numbers. Okay, we're climbing back up to 300. We're here. We're here, pals. Okay, let's get back above 300. There was like 320 people watching across X and YouTube. I know a bunch of people bailed out. I just got someone snipped the cord. Someone hit the plug, you know? Okay, chat's all here. Thank you. That was crazy. Crazy evening. Okay, sickos in the chat because it is time for nobody's favorite segment, and it is called So again, Meltzer said what? We have Tryin' Brian here. Okay. This is a throwback to June. We've already covered this. A little Tryin' Brian, though. I told you guys we're gonna be still roasting Dave and Brian.
Oh my God,
and
it's the greatest thing.
Brian.
Everyone in the fucking show. All your favorite fools will still be on the live show. Don't worry. We're just Dave Meltzer is, I've got so much material on the guy. And so here's just a throwback to Brian admitting neither he or Dave actually believe BJ Bethel's 500K max streaming numbers. BJ Bethel is like our kingpin fool of the evening here, okay, throughout this sicko segment.
This guy here says, Brian, Dave is insistent AEW does 500,000 streaming, despite that running basically against what WBD said. Do you believe they do 500,000? Okay, first off, that's incorrect. He does not believe that. What he has said is that nobody seems to have a real number, and that the closest we have to anyone claiming to have a number through sources at WBD is BJ Bethel, who claimed 500,000. Now, Dave himself has said that sounds really high.
But then he sources BJ Bethel's shit all the time, Brian.
And I agree. And the thing with streaming is we don't know anything about anything. Like, what does any of this even mean?
Exactly. So, Dave, tell that to your boss, bud. That's all I have to say about that. But we move along here, and Meltzer said what quote tweets this, and he says, the lying high school sports reporter, blowjob brothel, a.k.a. BJ Bethel, who just by sheer coincidence is also an AW stan, is the guy the oxygen-deprived think has connections that Adam Silver and Tony Khan don't. And so hold on Jesus Christ, some show, huh? So BJ Bethel says in the least breaking news, Gail Kim. So, Gail Kim got attacked. We've chronicled this on the show a bunch. We talked about Dave versus Gail Kim versus Brett Lauderdale, Gail Kim versus Rio, etc. So BJ Bethel tweets, in the least breaking news, Gail Kim contacted several people about an opportunity at AEW at some point, no longer than a couple weeks ago. No one reached out to her. So then Gail Kim is like, I don't know you, but this is a perfect example of someone lying and has zero integrity. At least when I say what I say, I'm saying what I feel and I'm truthful and will defend myself with facts. Zero integrity here. So again, BJ just getting goddamn owned like a dummy. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Now, there's more of this throughout this evening, throughout this segment, okay? So let's move along here. Gail Kim responds, Triple H's thoughts, weighs in, friend of the show. He says, imagine having no credibility and no sources, but continuing to make up stories to reach for any sort of relevancy and attention because Meltzer ran with your last lie for his own false narrative. The lack of shame it takes to reach so hard for Meltzer brownie points is astounding. Now, here's the thing that I want to point out. Dave and BJ Bethel, when Eric Bischoff uses words like it's a circle jerk, it's masturbatory and all this shit, okay? Dave and BJ Bethel, this is what he means. Like, they're jerking each other off. These guys fucking hump each other. They're retweeting each other's shit because they're bros and stuff. And Dave can sit there and go, I don't believe that number seems high, but he doesn't deny it. He fucking sources BJ Bethel. I mean, it's one report. It's the only credible thing we have. Meanwhile, BJ's like not credible at all. And he's just a king fucking sicko. And he had to jump because he saw Dave jumping on Gail Kim. BJ doesn't give a shit about Rio or any of this shit. He's just attacking Gail Kim because fucking Dave Meltzer and all these sickos went after her. And it's just bot activity. It's just NPC bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, none of you fucks like matter to the great, you're just spurging out trying to just tell people lies to make AEW seem more popular than it is. Why? Because you're trying to get jobs there. You are getting paid. You're friends with Tony Khan. He took you on a nice dinner. Like, what is it? So, again, I bookmarked this like 3 fucking times. So Chi-Town Sports says Bethel retweeted tweets that make his story inaccurate is hilarious. And that's when Triple H's thoughts say it's a race to the bottom. Wait until Sanjay confirms Gail's story and he still sticks to it. So BJ says that's what she said about it. I'm obviously going to post her response. I also stick by what I reported. So Gail came out and told the real story. Like, no, I never tried to work there, or whatever the fuck the story was exactly, right? And then he's just like, nah, I stick by what I reported. I stick by it. Even though it's what Dave does as well. He won't retract it if you study and learn. Well, it fucking changed. It's like, yeah, dude, you don't get the benefit of that when you're the news guy. Like, I'm not the news guy. I'm the I react to shit guy. So I'm allowed to react to shit and be stupid and funny whenever the fuck I want. Dave, you don't have that benefit. BJ, you want to be taken seriously as a fucking reporter? You don't get the benefit of that. You don't get the benefit of being like, well, we ran these fake polls and all this shit. Oh, I don't believe that number, but it's the only credible report we have and shit. Like, you can't just be like, well, things develop. And I mean, I was just going what I was told and shit. I mean, you just don't get the benefit of that when you're like the news guys or whatever, So BJ says worst people ever. Bots are posting, but someone's paying for it. Meanwhile, I mean, Nicolo Piccolo got attacked by like a paid fucking bot farm. Nicolo Piccolo got attacked by like a paid bot farm. Allegedly. I'm not saying that. I don't know. I haven't seen him say that. I'm just saying like all these bots out of nowhere with like 2 followers, 12 followers. NoDQ.com follows all of them. Right? Moving along here. Nicolo Piccolo's beefing with BJ. He's like, I'm just doing this for sport at this point. This guy maliciously attacked me, attempted to defame me, boosted this post to 134K views, and blocked me all within 10 minutes. Sorry, but I'm going to constantly remind everyone that you have zero credibility and zero backbone. So he DM'd BJ and he's like, tell me how stupid I am, please. Yeah. Of course, some people don't like that, man. They just want to talk shit. And then when you DM them and are like, yo, just fucking tag me or DM me. And then they don't want to talk shit anymore. Then they just want to block you and talk shit about you that way. An agent shouldn't be this stupid, BJ says. And yeah, Nicolo Piccolo just pointing out, like, look at the views this got. You know, he does the put him in a coffin meme and then he goes classy. Jesus Christ, asshole. It doesn't mean like they want you fucking dead. It's just like a meme. But Nicolo Piccolo says this PR hit is part of we covered all this way before. It's part of a smear campaign targeting me and the former AEW talent now thriving in WWE, represented by Paradigm. And like Tony Khan, here's the problem is that BJ Bethel and Dave Meltzer have fucked up, okay? What was the headline recently? Jack Harlow turns down Tony Khan's. He wants to use this song. Jack Harlow turned him down. Well, who represents Jack Harlow? Huh? Right? Maybe your fucking buddies should like stop being. They're just ruining shit for you. This is what everybody's tried to say about AEW since day one. Dave and BJ, who just popped up out of nowhere, and these types of assholes are just going to fucking ruin the company for you. And that's what's happened. It's going downhill, and you have morons like this. Fucking shilling, I guess. Is it even shilling? Who knows? But Adam Pearce had this to say. We're going to circle back to that. So Adam Pearce says, have you ever been, or Ringside News says, have you ever been targeted by a fake WWE accounts or seen someone else fall for it? Yeah, we all have. So what they write is Adam Pearce blows up on scammers pretending to be WWE stars. He's like, well, it was going for a while, but holy hell is it back and forth for. So here we go. Ready? No one from WWE, not a single solitary soul, not a living, breathing human being employed by the company known as WWE is asking you or anyone you know online for money or to date. Not for gift cards, not for car notes, not for mortgage payments, not for Bitcoin. That's a new one. Not for non-existent VIP cards, not for a goddamn thing. And it's good that he's calling it out, I get it. Wrestlers deal with this shit and they don't want to bring attention to it. But yeah, it is getting out of hand. Scams just in general, like everything. Text, phone, email, fucking DMs, everything's Robetronic and everything's a fucking phishing scam. So it's quite unfortunate that he has to even say that. But yeah, exactly. They're asking for cryptos and shit. It's like, get the fuck out of here. So this guy here says, if I'm Triple H, Nico here says, if I'm Triple H, I'm booking Nia Jax every week and having her eat pins until every woman in the entire company has pinned her consecutively. If she doesn't want to do it, show her the damn door. What she did to Jade Cargill was on purpose. Enough is enough. And then Baron Corbin's just like, dude, shut the fuck up. You have no idea what you're talking about. Boom, roasted. This guy here, Visionary Mike, and I think this was more playful, but it's just a funny it's fun, right? We try to keep the sicko segment lighter than it once was. So Visionary Mike says, type of picture you keep in your locket before you go to war, right? And it's Mariah May looking like one of the Dudley boys. And then, or Blake Monroe rather. And Blake goes, y'all don't even go to work. That shit is funny. Boom, roasted. So, again, we have Michael Elgin is a topic of discussion here, okay? And we've covered a couple of his, like, I guess you want to call them meltdowns, a couple of melties. He had one on Jordan Grace not long ago, right? He's, I don't know, he's just been vocal about shit. He's like calling out Scott D'Amore and Callis and shit. Well, he starts calling out Sean Ross Sapp here and Dave Meltzer, okay? And so he talks to Raj Giri. So Raj Giri sees Sean Ross Sapp at a football game. They snap a flick together. And then Mike Elgin goes, I can't wait to see him in public. I hope it's soon. Right? And then someone's like, why? And he's like, to ask him why he's a bitch or whatever. And then, so this post is unavailable. I'm not sure why, but Sean said something and I guess he deleted it. Okay, maybe it's screen grabbed up here, so I don't know. But Elgin's like, let's go, Sean. Why don't I get booked? Because I'm not talented? No, because people like you spread accusations and never go back where they are proven false. So this is like an extension of what he was saying about D'Amore and I think Callis and Jordan Grace and shit, right? He was, he was like, fucking, they said they wouldn't release me, then they released me and all that stuff, right? So he's like, you couldn't hack it as a wrestler, started a website, put over Black Label so you could get in the ring because you couldn't hack it. Want to tweet about rubbing thighs? So drop the thigh rubber on his ass. Oh, I wish I seen what he said there. See what he saw. So mission accomplished. Have a good night, everyone. So then he reveals it was like all a ruse. So Michael Elgin goes, mission accomplished. Have a good night, everyone. I've been trying to tell you, chess, not checkers. He was always going to take the bait. He relies on social media to have a website so he can feel like he's a part of the business. You know who you are. You owe me $50. I won the bet. So this is like a ruse. He's like, oh, dude, I pulled a fast one, right? So let's see here. He goes, these marks aren't the only ones with group chats that make sense fun if people. These marks aren't the only ones with group chats that make sense fun if people. Makes sense fun if people. It's like if you play a record backwards, right? I don't know what he was saying there. So he goes, hey, homie, cash at me that 50. I told you I'd get him to respond. So he's having like horse race bets. Oh, I think this is what Sapp said. So he said, fella, get over it. You're obsessed. You've lied about me not liking you because you didn't give me scoops. I don't think about you. There's like a random quotation there. So I think he's quoting, oh, no, it's there. Because you don't give me scoops. I don't think about you. Quit picking fights with your own imagination. And then Elgin's like, my bad, haha. You were right. They're all the same. Well, not all. He's one of a kind when it comes to being a bitch. So Elgin really doesn't like this dude. He's calling people out. He's calling out fucking Jordan Grace. He's calling out fucking Scott D'Amore, Callis, now Sapp. He's just picking a fight with everybody here. And I guess that was like a $50 bet. Or did he Photoshop that image, right? Like, I don't know. But then he calls out Dave Meltzer, okay? And don't forget, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week, every Thursday on the PWT YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. But, Meltzer got called out as well. All right, I'll give you a little.
Oh, my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
But Elgin goes, could you please answer this, Dave? When This Is TNA announced they were going to investigate accusations against me, the 4 days later announced I was removed from programming. As a journalist, was it to your understanding due to the public statements made by the company that they had completed an investigation and found merit, so they fired me? Now, bro, this is where it's like, okay, are we trying to leverage Dave into fucking like you? I don't know, dude. This is like trying to get Dave haters to be like, yeah, he shouldn't have been fired from TNA. I don't know, dude. Where does Dave, when This Is TNA announced they were going to investigate accusations against me, 4 days later announced I was removed from programming. As a journalist, was it to your understanding? So is he just like genuinely asking Dave a question here? Because that's the worst thing you can try and do, is be genuine to Dave Meltzer, dude. He'll just throw that shit in your face. That's absolutely, you can't do that, So I don't know if he's asking a real question. I know Elgin, he was in the DMs with, some of these guys trying to get his interview off and stuff like that. So it is what it is. But yeah, him and BJ Bethel, unfortunately, were the two gentlemen featured primarily in this Wednesday's segment that nobody likes. And it is called the Fucking amazing, guys. Fucking amazing. What an amazing show. How was Dynamite? How'd you guys enjoy it? Let me know. You guys let me know. Let me check in with chat here. Hopefully it's jumping. So yes, let's so Dynamite again, they're gonna stick that extra hour to it, right? That's what the fuck is gonna happen with it. And hopefully you guys like that sicko segment there. And do you see all the strays Dave gets by proxy of just reporting this shit? Or I guess I'm reporting it technically, if you want to use like the technical fucking terms. Reacting. I like the word reacting. But yeah, it's quite funny. Here, I'm just trying to. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, again, what a show. Fantastic show. What did we all get here on this 6-year anniversary? Andrade, right? That's the thing. I'm like, what happened again? Who returned? Who was the guy? What's chat saying? Same Dynamite shit, different week. It was on TV, trash. It was mid. Don Callis had another new members. Yeah, exactly. So I guess that was cool. If you guys enjoyed that, hell yeah. Andrade showing back up. I mean, what is he really going to do? I'm not trying to, again, shit on him. I do like him. I've liked him since the NXT Black and Gold days, as everybody says. I've enjoyed him on SmackDown as well. I thought him and Phoenix were fun. They kind of got a tag team where it's like, if you're not going to put Lucha Bros together and you don't really have anything for either of them individually, maybe this is a good tag team. So I'm totally okay with all that, but him just showing right back up on AEW on Dynamite, it's like, listen, they got Sammy Guevara. I said it before, I'll say it again. Sammy Guevara is out of the way already because of Monet. We've established that, so it's like they don't need to worry about him fucking slapping anybody again or whatever. But it's just funny that Dave and them were like Andrade and Miro and fucking Aleister Black. I'm sure they said Andrade as well. Like, I know I'm saying Andrade, but I guarantee we can pull quotes of him being lumped in as like, oh, they just want to be here until the Fed scoops them up again. So people are just like, I didn't watch. So there you go. You heard it through Phil Marks. Guys, so tomorrow night, okay, there's almost 400 watching. Thank you all who tuned in tonight. Every Thursday now, live on YouTube and wherever podcasts are at. Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, every Thursday here on YouTube and wherever podcasts are. Be sure to tune in. And I leave you guys with this. I'm going to leave you guys with this on the show. Okay. It is Wednesday and we didn't celebrate it. And so we are going to celebrate Wednesday all together.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. So even though we were not chosen for Team NXT,
yeah, we're not really cool enough, I guess. Not yet. We're working on it.
We decided that we're team players. And so we actually want to help give you all some advice for Showdown next Tuesday.
Yeah, so if you're not Team NXT, then keep scrolling.
I don't know what team I am. I don't know. TNA rules, but if it wasn't for NXT, we wouldn't even be at this point. I'm just babbling so we don't get it. Eye of the tiger, rising up, back on come on now. Took my chances, punching meat in a pizza locker.
So y'all are welcome.
Survivor.
Next time, maybe consider us to be on the team.
Okay, they're still playing the song.
NXT.
Rendell. So there you go. It's Wednesday, bitches. See y'all later. Everyone, thanks for being here. 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night, the first official episode of Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week. Appreciate you all. I will see you all in the Upside Down. And tomorrow night, man, I'm excited. Peace.
I look and see it's not just me.
Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call this problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. fall. We're 1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, it would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless smile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand, we won't fall. We're 1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless smile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand, we won't fall. We're 1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Get wild! Yeah!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
There was a real iffy thing when I came back to the WWE the last time because I'd spent 10 years trying to put him out of business, with Ted Turner. And we were beating the crap out of him for a long time. Then American Online and Turner Broadcasting merged. They didn't want wrestling as part of their portfolio. They wanted to took my boss, Ted Turner, and kicked him to the curb. And so when all that started to decline and demise, I get a call from Vince, and he says, "Hey, man, I want you to come back and put the red and yellow rub on the Rock." I said, "Well, I don't want to come back as a good guy. I'm going to come back as Hollywood Hogan, because if I'm going to do it right, I want to put this kid over right, And plus, I knew his dad. I traveled with his father for years.
Yeah,
Rocky
yeah.
Johnson.
You started with the father.
I had a long history with the family and all the Samoan brothers. They're all my guys. So when I wrestled him, I did everything I could to get heat. Hit him in the back of the head with a hammer. I put him in an ambulance, chained the ambulance. I ran him over with a semi. I did everything I could to make people hate me. Then when I went out at WrestleMania 18, they cheered me out of the building. Whenever The Rock would punch me, they'd boo him. I was like, oh my God. So I said, all that stuff we talked about, we ain't doing it. Just listen.